जो बैंक हर इंडियन को डिजिटल बैंकिंग करने का पावर दे, और जो बैंक हर इंडियन को साथ लेके चले, वही कूलेस्ट है।
Really cool.
Wow.
कूल तो है।
So cool, man.
वेरी गुड।
जो बैंक डिजिटली एडवांस्ड और इको फ्रेंडली हो और हर इंडियन को हर जगह सर्व करे, अपलिफ्ट करे, वही बैंक कूलेस्ट है। SBI, the banker to every Indian. Truly.
In a world of endless possibilities, every great change begins with a single step. A step that opens the door to something extraordinary.
But where does the change start?
From the first spark of fire came food, shelter, and clothing. Every new discovery opened a new world of knowledge.
Risk is part of the game.
We build what others only imagine.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's such a pleasure to have all of you here with us this evening. This is just a reminder, we'll be getting the show on the road in a short while from now. Just a request to everybody to kindly put your mobile phones on silent mode, please, during the course of the event. And of course, in just a short while, since we will be starting the program, I would request everyone present here to kindly take their seats. We'll start in a short while.
Justice is worth the fight.
Got it!
Learning thrives beyond classrooms, in the spaces where we connect, collaborate, and find our people.
Every flavor tells a story.
Every page turned brings clarity, focus, and perspective.
Here, we find our calm.
For decades, Christ has nurtured generations, ready to lead, ready to serve, and ready to transform.
As voices rise, momentum builds, and together, we shape our future.
The game ends, the growth doesn't.
At Christ, every idea finds a hope, marching towards a greater future. Christ University, nurturing generations for tomorrow.
family audience, I won't say what's tightening, but it is tightening.
28 off 8. Coley's got to find the boundary against Ralph. Coley stands his ground, straight down the ground. He lifted it up. That is a shot of an emperor. A straight 6 down the ground.
मैं अपना टर्म इंश्योरेंस तो ऑनलाइन लूंगा। मैं तो सिर्फ अपने ट्रस्टेड LIC एजेंट से लूंगा। अपना फ्यूचर बनाए डबल सेफ। LIC के साथ युवा टर्म मिले ऑफलाइन और DG टर्म मिले ऑनलाइन और पाएं स्पेशल बेनिफिट्स। आज ही www.licindia.in पर जाएं। LIC हर पल आपके साथ।
जीतनी है ये स्पेस की रेस, तरक्की की बढ़ानी है पेस, शिक्षा की रफ्तार करनी है तेज, भरनी है अन्न से हर मेज। तरक्की की इस बढ़ती गति को मुमकिन कर रहा है एनटीपीसी। थर्मल पावर के साथ साथ बढ़ा रहा है सूर्य, वायु, जल और परमाणु की शक्ति की ओर हाथ, ताकि विकसित होते भारत की अनंत संभावनाओं को मिलती रहे अपार शक्ति। एनटीपीसी, द पावर टू गो फास्टर।
कठिन डगर है, मुश्किल भरा ये भंवर है, आएगा हर मुकाम तू, तुझे कैसा डर है, तुझे कैसा डर है, तुझे कैसा डर है। तेरा हाथ पकड़ कर नेक्स्ट आईएएस ने ठाना है, वो सही दिशा देकर आईएएस तुझे बनाना है। ना उम्मीद छोड़ दे, रुख अपना तू मोड़ दे, ना उम्मीद छोड़ दे, रुख अपना तू मोड़ दे। अपनी कीमत जान ले, तू जीतने की ठान ले, खुद को तू पहचान ले। सीखने का हर हुनर सिखाएंगे, नेक्स्ट आईएएस के गुरु रास्ता दिखाएंगे। चिंता की मटकी फोड़ दे, बेचैनी का सिलसिला तोड़ दे, तू भी अपनी तान ले, तू जीतने की ठान ले, खुद को तू पहचान ले, तू जीतने की ठान ले, खुद को तू पहचान ले, तू जीतने की ठान ले, खुद को तू पहचान ले।
आप कौन?
गर्मी स्क्वाड, हम गर्मी का आतंक मचाने आए हैं। ओए, फ्रीज।
ब्लू स्टार, एसी ऑन।
फास्ट कूलिंग 5 स्टार एसीज विद वॉइस कमांड टेक्नोलॉजी। ब्लू स्टार, गर्मी की छुट्टी।
अरे, फ्रीज तो आप हो गए।
क्या गेम चल रही है? हम मजा कर रहे हैं क्या इधर?
24 घंटे से यहाँ बैठा हूँ सर। मैं कितनी बार बताऊं, मैंने कुछ नहीं किया है सर।
ड्रग्स मिले तेरे पार्सल में।
ड्रग्स? सर मेरा पार्सल नहीं है सर वो।
ये देख, डिजिटल अरेस्ट वारंट है तेरे नाम का। अगर तूने कॉपरेट नहीं किया ना तो हमें एक्शन लेना पड़ेगा। तुम्हारे सारे अकाउंट फ्रीज किए जाएंगे।
जितना तुमने इन्वेस्ट किया है, जितने तुम्हारे सेविंग्स है, सब कुछ ट्रांसफर करना पड़ेगा हमारे गवर्नमेंट के ऑफिशियल अकाउंट में।
और तू चिंता मत कर, 24 घंटे में वेरीफाई होकर तेरे अकाउंट में आ जाएगा।
ऐसे ही ये फेक ऑफिसर्स आपको वीडियो कॉल करते हैं और डिजिटल अरेस्ट की धमकी देके आपसे पैसे मांगते हैं। सिर्फ सेविंग्स नहीं, वो आपसे इन्वेस्टमेंट से पैसे निकलवाते हैं। रिमेम्बर, डिजिटल अरेस्ट जैसा कुछ नहीं होता। पुलिस किसी को डिजिटली अरेस्ट नहीं कर सकती। अगर कोई आपको प्रेशर में पैसे निकालने के लिए बोले तो पहले आपके नजदीकी पुलिस स्टेशन को कांटेक्ट कीजिए। आपके फ्रेंड्स, फैमिली और बैंक के रिलेशनशिप मैनेजर से बात कीजिए। स्टे सेफ, स्टे विजिल।
Casa Grande, Casablanca.
ఇది Casa Grande GS Infinity.
Casa Grande, Casamir. Live limitless.
The greatest living experience.
Casa Grande, Hola Chennai.
Out of the world living experience.
Finest luxury address is here.
Everything I need is already here.
Yet,
blissfully apart. It's time to embrace the luxury you deserve.
Here there's everything for everyone.
And that's Casa Grande's legacy, crafting homes.
Ranked among India's top 7 developers, our homes stand tall across Chennai, Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Pune, Coimbatore, and Dubai. But every journey seeks a bigger stage. Now, we arrive in the city that never stops dreaming. Casa Grande, now in Mumbai.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're all set. And I'm sure all of you are waiting to see what unfolds today in this awards function. So I request everybody to please be seated. And also please put your mobile phones on silent. And we get the show on the road right away.
सोशली कॉन्शियस हो
फिर तो एसबीआई कूलेस्ट है
What?
एसबीआई जो बैंक हर इंडियन को इको फ्रेंडली बनने में मदद करे, जो बैंक हर इंडियन को अपलिफ्ट करे, जो बैंक हर हाल में हर इंडियन का साथ दे, जो बैंक हर इंडियन को डिजिटल बैंकिंग करने का पावर दे, और जो बैंक हर इंडियन को साथ लेके चले, वही कूलेस्ट है।
Really cool. Wow.
कूल तो है।
So cool, man.
वेरी गुड। जो बैंक डिजिटली एडवांस्ड और इको फ्रेंडली हो और हर इंडियन को हर जगह सर्व करे, अपलिफ्ट करे, वही बैंक कूलेस्ट है। एसबीआई, द बैंकर टू एवरी इंडियन। ट्रूली।
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to see some very august people in the audience, a lot of familiar faces as well, and the who's who from the sporting fraternity in this country. I'm going to request our esteemed guests to please be seated because we are beginning the show. Well, as you can see, it's going to be an action-packed evening. Just look at the sheer quantum of the cue cards that I've got. It's definitely going to be an action-packed evening. Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to all of you to the Sportstar Aces Awards 2026. My name is Raman Bhanot, and tonight we gather to celebrate the extraordinary athletes, teams, and institutions who've shaped the story of Indian sport over the past year. Ladies and gentlemen, I've always had a feeling that key moments define sport. They're moments of courage, they're moments of resilience, they're moments of brilliance, and of course, moments of self-belief that make such a big difference. Those moments also unite millions of fans and inspire an entire generation to go ahead and dream. And today, Indian sport is experiencing something very powerful. It's moving with new energy, new ambition, and of course, new momentum. Because across stadiums, arenas, courts, and tracks, ladies and gentlemen, Indian sport is not just progressing, it's moving at a phenomenal pace, and that spirit defines our theme for the year. Sport moves fast forward. And tonight, we celebrate those stories of dedication, perseverance, and triumph at the Sportstar Aces Awards, which have always stood as being one of the most respected platforms recognizing excellence in Indian sport. And it's truly wonderful to see so many distinguished guests, sporting legends, administrators, partners, and of course supporters of Indian sport here in this hall this evening. At this point, I'd like to acknowledge our partners. We are honored to have Amul as our presenting partner of the Sportstar Aces Awards 2026. Our sincere thanks to Casa Gran, our co-presenting partner, for their continued support in celebrating excellence in Indian sport. The awards, of course, are held in association with SRM Institute of Science and Technology, whose commitment to nurturing young talent and supporting the sporting excellence that it brings is truly commendable. Thank you so much. We would also like to extend our gratitude to our associate partners, that is, of course, State Bank of India, to Christ University, JACWA, ISCL, that's the Indian Softball Cricket League, Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, Life Insurance Corporation of India, the Government of Telangana, and the Sports Authority of Telangana, and of course, NTPC. Next IAS as well. Our thanks goes out to River University, our education partner, for their continued support in empowering the next generation. And a special acknowledgement to Blue Star, our cooling partner, for partnering with us this evening. And of course, our gratitude to Times Now, our telecast partner, that's bringing the Sportstar Aces Awards 2026 across audiences in the country. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, before we celebrate achievements and live the moment right now, let's pause for a moment and remember members of the sporting fraternity whom we lost over the past year. Individuals whose contribution to sport will always be remembered. And we'll also remember fans whose love for the game reflects the deep connection that sport creates among communities. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a small tribute to them. Ladies and gentlemen, that's just our way of saying that these members, these individuals, they won't be forgotten. Moving on now, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about what's in store. The story of Indian sport is what we started off with. That's what I'll come back to. It's, of course, a story today of momentum, a story that's written by athletes who are constantly pushing forward, raising the bar, and inspiring a nation with their determination and self-belief. They are the reason, ladies and gentlemen, why we're celebrating the Sportstar Aces Awards tonight. Let's take a look at this AV.
The greater the moment, the greater the joy in telling its story. And Indian sports has certainly given us stories worth telling. Stories of records being shattered, of rivalries being reborn, of heartbreaks, of victories against all odds. We have seen Indian sport rise. From cricket to badminton, from wrestling to chess, from the track to the arena. In the last few years, India hasn't just competed. We've arrived. We've taken on the best in the world. Not just in stadiums, but in conversations, in dreams, woven into our destiny. Sport teaches you resilience. It teaches you belief. And it teaches you legacy. Athletes create history. Fans give it meaning. And we immortalize it. For decades, Sportstar has captured history as it was made. Every sprint, every goal, every lift. And tonight, at the Sportstar Aces Awards, we do what we do best. Honor the athletes who inspire. Celebrate the moments that unite us. And no matter where you go next, know this. We are all in for you. We are all in for sport.
Absolutely, all in for sport, and those pictures telling a story. Ladies and gentlemen, for decades, Sportstar stood at the forefront of sports journalism in India, documenting triumphs, celebrating excellence, and of course, bringing stories of our athletes closer to millions of fans across the country. Guiding that legacy today, ladies and gentlemen, is a leader deeply committed to the growth and recognition of Indian sport. It's my privilege to invite on stage the editor of Sportstar, Mr. Ayan Sengupta. Can we have you up on stage, Ayan?
Good evening, everyone. Success is a journey, not a destination. That line from Arthur Ashe has always stayed with me because sports is really about the journey, the long, unseen road before the applause arrives. My journey with sports began at home. Growing up, sports in our house did not begin with stadiums, television broadcasts, or with famous athletes. It began with small brass cups and medals that sat in our home. They belonged to my mother. She had played hockey as a fullback for a school in Delhi and later at the district level. When she moved to our parental home in Kolkata, those trophies had traveled with her from Delhi. And for a brief, glorious period, they were also the only silverware that I ever won in my life, thanks to imaginary World Cup matches that I played with my cousins on a tiny little narrow corridor on our second floor house. Looking back now, I realize that my relationship with sport was shaped as much by the heroes on the field as by the women around me. My mother, my sister, my cousins who followed sport and celebrated every moment of it. And perhaps that is why tonight's gathering is so very special. 2025 has been a great year for Indian women in sport. We saw the Indian women's cricket team led by Harmanpreet Kaur lifting the ODI World Cup title. We had the Indian blind cricket team winning the first inaugural blind cricket World Cup. We had the women's kabaddi team winning the Kabaddi World Cup. And on the global stage, we had athletes like Jyoti Surekha, Mirabai Chanu, Divya Deshmukh, and many more bringing glory to the country. We are fortunate tonight to have many pioneers and trailblazers of Indian sport with us today. We have champions such as Tania Sachdev, Rani Rampal, Manika Batra, Jhulan Goswami, Olympic medalists like MC Maricom, Sakshi Malik. Their journeys have inspired millions across the country. It is also fitting that India, when it dreams bigger in sport, including having the aspiration to host the 2036 Olympics, the Indian Olympic Association is headed by one of the leading athletes of the country, P.T. Usha. The likes of P.T. Usha, Shanta Rangaswamy, Diana Edulji, Nilima Joglekar brought laurels to the country when very little support existed for women's sport. They competed in difficult circumstances, often with limited resources and recognition. But their achievements helped lay the foundation for all the success that we see today. At Sportstar, we have been fortunate to chronicle the journey of Indian sport and of Indian women in sports since 1978. Many of those pioneers have appeared in our pages, on our covers, on the iconic center spreads that generations of sports fans have grown up with. We have had the privilege of hearing their voices directly in the magazine. Mr. Gavaskar has been our longest-serving columnist. And on the March 18, 1995 issue of Sportstar, we had Purnima Rao, then captain of the women's national team, writing about the team's victory at the Centenary Cup in New Zealand. Those stories are part of Sportstar and also a part of the larger story of Indian sports. The Sportstar Aces Award celebrates the entire ecosystem. I would like to thank our distinguished jury, chaired by Mr. Gavaskar, and supported by stalwarts like Mr. Somaya, Aparna Popat, Anjali Bhagwat, Abhinav Bindra, and of course Vishy Anand, whose wisdom and experience ensured that these awards remain a truly merit-based celebration of excellence. Tonight we celebrate champions, but every champion's journey begins long before the medals, long before the applause, in homes with parents, families, teachers, and mentors who believed in them. As someone whose own journey in sport began with a few old trophies belonging to his mother, I know how powerful those beginnings can be. And we are delighted that some of those parents and family members of our award winners, of our athletes, are present with us this evening. Your encouragement, your sacrifices, and your unwavering belief have played a vital role in shaping these champions. We thank you sincerely for all the support that you have given our athletes. So tonight, let us celebrate heroes and the journeys that they have made. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank my colleagues from circulation, editorial, advertising, events team of The Hindu, and our events partner Hyperlink. And also a big thank you to our sponsors and the Taj Hotel for being a wonderful host for the last 8 years. Thank you, and welcome to the Sportstar Aces Awards. And now I would like the chairperson of the Hindu group, Dr. Nirmala Lakshman, to come up and address you. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. It's a great privilege to welcome you all to the Sportstar Aces Awards, a celebration, as Ayan said, of excellence, courage, and inspiration in Indian sport. The Hindu group has always been chronicling India's journey for close to a century and a half. Through wars, independence, social change, and sporting triumphs, our mission has been constant: to document the story of a nation with credibility, integrity, and depth. For 48 years, Sportstar has carried forward that legacy in the world of sport, celebrating not just victories, but the spirit, sacrifice, and perseverance that define great athletes. Sportstar today is not just a magazine, but a modern sports media platform. Through our website, we reach millions of readers every month, bringing them the biggest story, analysis, and live sporting moments from India and the world outside. Along this, initiatives like Playcom Business of Sports Summit reflect our belief that sports today is also a powerful economic and cultural force, shaping industries, communities, and indeed the future of the nation itself. And at the heart of India's sporting transformation today are the women of this country. Long before the spotlight arrived, pioneers like P.T. Usha, Karnam Malleshwari, Diana Edduji, and Shanta Rangaswamy carried the dreams of Indian women's sport on their shoulders. They competed for India in an era with limited infrastructure, little recognition, and almost no financial support. Yet they persevered, driven purely by passion and pride. Their courage had laid the foundation of what we see today. Today, Indian women athletes are redefining the nation's sporting identity. They are winning World Cups, standing on Olympic podiums, and inspiring millions of young girls across the country to dream without limits. To see Indian women lifting global trophies, winning Olympic medals, and commanding the world stage is not just a sporting achievement, it's a moment of national pride and testament to decades of perseverance. I'd like to extend our heartfelt thanks and gratitude to our distinguished jury, chaired by the legendary Sunil Gavaskar, whose wisdom and integrity ensure that Sportstar Aces Awards remain a truly merit-based recognition of sporting excellence. I'd like to also thank ION for having done this wonderful job for so many years and keeping this integrity of Sportstar and the whole infrastructure of the sports of India uplifted way beyond his shoulders, supported by all the colleagues in his department. Tonight, we celebrate those who have made India proud, and we salute the women who are not just winning medals, but are shaping the future of the nation. I'd like to thank our sponsors once again, and all of you for being here tonight, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Thank you very much, ma'am. And I am going to request you to stay back on stage, please. I'm also going to request Ion to join us on stage one more time. Before we get into the awards, there's something very important that we must do. Ion, can we have you come back on stage? Ma'am, can we have you center stage, please? Can we have you move center stage? Ladies and gentlemen, before we get into the awardees, it's time for us to acknowledge the efforts of our jury members who were just talked about, of course, the jury members of the Sportstar Aces Awards 2026. I'm going to request the jury members to kindly come up on stage, starting with Mr. Sunil Gavaskar, sir. Chairperson of the jury, of course, who can forget that 1983 World Cup triumph. Great to have you here with us, sir. May I request Mr. M.M. Somaya, another jury member, to join us on stage. Mr. M.M. Somaya, was also part of that 1980 men's Olympic gold medal winning side. Back then, of course, he captained in 88 at the Seoul Olympics, but 80, of course, was when they picked up that gold in Moscow. May I request Mr. Vishwanathan Anand, chess grandmaster, and of course, multiple-time world chess champion, to join us as well. This man, ladies and gentlemen, has the moves. So may we have a round of applause for him. May I request someone who's always been on target, Ms. Anjali Bhagwat, an Olympian, ace rifle shooter, and of course former world #1, our jury member as well. And also may I request Ms. Aparna Popat to come up on stage, please. Her smashes had no answers. Of course, multiple Commonwealth medal winning badminton player. Holds a record for 9 national championships won. Unbelievable record in her name. Of course, we missed the presence of Mr. Abhinav Bindra, who's also another jury member. Unfortunately, who's not here with us today, but we acknowledge him in absentia for his efforts that he put in with the jury members. Thank you so much. We have a small token of our appreciation for our jury members that we would like to present. And can we have a quick photo opportunity? This is for our friends from the media. This is your moment. A big thank you to our jury members for all the efforts that they've put in shortlisting the winners. Thank you so much. Ladies and gents, thank you very much. Dr. Lakshman, thank you so much, Ayan. Right, ladies and gentlemen, now time to move towards the honorees as far as our Sportstar Aces Awards 2026 is concerned. Our very first award, ladies and gentlemen, for the evening is the Best Educational Institute for Promotion of Sport. That's the award that we have first up. And this recognizes an institution that plays a crucial role in shaping the future of Indian sport, whether it's young athletes discovering their potential, learning discipline, and of course teaching them discipline as well, and helping them begin their journeys towards excellence. To present this award, I'm going to request Mr. Pragyan Ojha, former India cricketer, and of course BCCI selector, to join us on stage. He's here. And of course, may I request Naval Ahuja, co-founder of Exchange for Media, to join us on stage as well for presentation of the awards. Good to see you, Pragyan, as always. I'm going to request Mr. Naval Ahuja to join us on stage as well for presentation of this awards. Good to have you here with us, sir. Please. Right, ladies and gentlemen, the award for the Best Educational Institute for Promotion of Sport goes to International Institute of Sports and Management, and I'm going to request Mr. Nilesh Kulkarni to step up. The towering presence of Nilesh Kulkarni to come up on stage. Former India cricketer, ladies and gentlemen, Nilesh Kulkarni has represented India, had the distinction of picking up a wicket of his very first ball in Test match cricket. Marwan Attapattu won't forget that, I'm sure. And of course, how he's channeled his energies towards creating a top institute. Well, credit goes to him. Many congratulations, Nilesh, and a big thank you to our presenters for this award as well. Thank you so much for doing the honors. Right, ladies and gentlemen, it's so good to see sportsmen who then continue with the path of developing and helping others achieve excellence. And excellence is what this night is all about. So our next award is Best Corporate for Promotion of Sport. That's the award that we are focusing on. And this, of course, is talking about a corporate whose vision and commitment to sport have significantly contributed in the promotion of sport and the nurturing of talent in our country. To present this award, may I request former India women's cricket team captain Sandhya Agarwal. Of course, may I request her to come up on stage, the former captain of the Indian women's cricket team, Sandhya Agarwal. Ma'am, can we have you come up on stage? And I'm also going to request Professor R. Mohanakrishnan, Director Sports, SRM Institute of Science and Technology, to kindly come up. Ma'am, pleasure to have you here with us this evening. Thank you so much. Pleasure to have you here with us, sir. Right, ladies and gentlemen, the Best Corporate for Promotion of Sport, this award goes to GMR Sports, and I'm going to request Mr. Satyam Trivedi, CEO GMR Sports, to kindly come up on stage to receive the award. As dynamic as ever, he's always got a spring in his step. Many congratulations to you, Satyam, and many congratulations to GMR Sport for the work that they've been doing. Congratulations to GMR Sport, and congratulations to you, Satyam. Thank you so much for being here this evening. And a big thank you to our presenters as well for the award. Right, ladies and gentlemen, on to the next award. Without further ado, down to business. Our next award is the Ace of Aces. And I love this, the phrase that we have in terms of this award, because the Ace of Aces is among the most distinguished honors of the evening. It recognizes athletes who stand at the very pinnacle of Indian sport, champions whose achievements, resilience, and legacy have inspired millions. To present this award, of course, I'm going to request Mr. M.M. Somaya, jury member, and of course, member of that men's hockey team that won gold back in 1980, to kindly come up on stage. I'm also going to request Dipta Kirti Chaudhary, the Chief Marketing Officer at Casa Grand, to kindly come up on stage to join us. Thank you so much, sir, once again. Pleasure to have you here with us, Mr. Chaudhary. Right, ladies and gentlemen, time for the awardee. The Ace of Aces Award goes to none other than Dr. MC Maricom. Can we have her come up on stage? She's fought the odds quite literally. When you talk about that Olympic bronze back in 2012, you look back at the number of times the world championships that she's got under her belt, 6-time world champion, 8 world championship medals. I think we could have a bigger round of applause for MC Maricom. Ma'am, that's a lot for you to hold. If you need help, please let me know. But a big thank you to our presenters. Mary, I'm going to request you to stay back. We can't let you go without you saying a few words, so I'm going to hold on to this, quite literally. Yes, please. And you can. Thank you so much for being here this evening, and many congratulations. Thank you for taking the weight off my shoulders, quite literally.
Thank you so much. Very good evening to everyone. And I would like to thank the jury member, and I would like to thank Sportstar for giving me this award. After, I think, almost 3 years back, I'm not competing in any competition because of age limit. I want to continue as much as, and so far as, you know, like, but unfortunately, in women boxing, there is an age limit for the age limit. Because of that, I could not able to compete for the last 3 years. So I'm just looking again for another, like, you know, same in boxing as well, in professional to twitch in professional. So I want your blessing. Entire, you know, the nation blessing, that is very much important. For your blessing only, I'm able to achieve everything, and you know, in so many competition, measure like games and all. So thank you once again for your all love and the support.
Mary,
and thank you so much for this award as well.
Before you leave, there's one question that I had in my mind. You know, you talked about age limit. Now, I have a question. You know, out of these 3 or 4 issues, one, your opponents, all the opponents that you fought during your playing career, the fact that you had the longevity, so you've had time as one of the opponents that was always against you, with the kind of career that you've had that spanned almost 2 decades. You've also had injuries that you had to come back from, and as a lady, childbirth, coming back, then winning the world championships. Out of these 4 opponents, which one's been the toughest?
The toughest is obviously being a mother. For me, is one of the big challenges. Boxing, it's a part of game. We train, we do hard work, we give a lot of, you know, effort, and somehow we still manage. But at home, being a mother, 24-hour duty. And see, it's not easy, all the women, you know, for managing, even they are working or as at home, you know, being mother, it's not easy. But how it's difficult for me also. I have experience, and I think all the women also had that same experience in different fields. So this is one of the toughest. But if you have patience, if you have that will and the power, mentally strong, then I think you can able to do anything, whatever you want to achieve. So without your blessing, the nation not supporting, then obviously we could not able to, you know, able to achieve in life. So we need your support. Not only me, all the whoever, giving the contribution for, the nation in sports, your love and your support is very needed, very required. Thank you so much.
That's always there. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here with us
once again.
this evening, and many congratulations. And I tell you what, the moment she said the biggest challenge, motherhood, that rang a bell. I could hear some silent yeses and some laughs from the audience, but absolutely spot on. Now, ladies and gentlemen, now we move on to our next award. And this award is the Best PSU for Promotion of Sport. Public sector organizations have played an important role in supporting Indian athletes and also in strengthening the nation's sporting infrastructure. This award honors the PSU whose commitment to sport has created meaningful opportunities for athletes to excel. Ladies and gentlemen, to present this award, I'm going to request former India women's cricket captain Sudha Shah to kindly come up on stage, ma'am, requesting your presence on stage. And may I also invite Mr. Ramesh Narayan, founder, Canco Advertising and Director Strategy, AFA, to come up on stage, please. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much, Ramesh, sir, for your presence this evening. Please. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sportstar Aces Best PSU for Promotion of Sport. The award will go to Indian Oil Corporation Limited. And I'm going to request Soumitra Srivastava, the Director Marketing, Indian Oil Corporation Limited, along with Vibhuti Pradhan, the Executive Director, CSR, and in charge of sports, Indian Oil Corporation Limited, to kindly come up on stage. Many congratulations. And a big thank you to the efforts of Indian Oil Corporation Limited. Thank you so much. Congratulations to the awardees, and thank you so much to our presenters. Thank you so much for doing the honors. Right, ladies and gentlemen, our next award is the Best State for Promotion of Sport. Right, ladies and gentlemen, the next award is the Best State for Promotion of Sport. It honors a state government whose initiatives and commitment have significantly strengthened the sporting landscape. I'm going to request ace shuttler Aparna Popat, also jury member as well, and a former Olympian, to join us on stage, along with Mr. R. Doraiswamy, Managing Director and CEO of LIC, to kindly come up on stage. And ladies and gentlemen, the Sportstar Aces Best State for Promotion of Sport is Bihar. And I'm going to request Shreyasi Singh, Olympian and Sports Minister, Government of Bihar, along with Mr. Shankaran, who's also present here as well. Can we have them up on stage, please, to receive the award? This, of course, is the Best State for Promotion of Sports. Many congratulations for the efforts that the state machinery has put in, the state government has put in. Credit to create that infrastructure for development of sport and for the sports persons to shine. Thank you very much. Many congratulations to you. Many congratulations to the winners, and thank you to our award presenters. On to the next award, ladies and gentlemen, for tonight. This is the award Sports for Social Good, where we all know that sport has the ability to transform lives. It's got that power, and the Sports for Social Good Award, it recognizes an initiative that has harnessed the power of sport to make a meaningful difference in society. I'm going to request Dr. Nirmala Lakshman, chairperson of the Hindu group, to kindly come up on stage and present this award. I'm also going to request Mr. K.C. Vijay Kumar, sports editor of the Hindu group, to kindly come up on stage as well. K.C. sir is, yes, making the dash, fit as ever. I love the infectious energy he brings wherever he goes. Good to see you, sir. Right, ladies and gentlemen, the award of Sports for Social Good goes to Project Nanhi Kali. And I'm going to request Ms. Sheetal Mehta, Trustee and Executive Director of KC Mahindra Education Trust, Ms. Swati Srivastava, Vice President Partnerships, Project Nanhi Kali, Farida Balsara, Senior Vice President and Group Head, CSR, Business and Legal Governance, along with some of the beneficiaries of the Project Nanhi Kali, to join us on stage. Here they come. It's so good to see the efforts bearing fruit. And when you have the beneficiaries of those efforts who are receiving those benefits on stage, you know it's a step in the right direction. Many congratulations to the awardees, and a big thank you to our presenters as well. I think there's something special that we have for our for our lovely kids on stage. There's some hampers being brought out. Oh, the hampers from Hamul, so I wonder there's some goodies in it. You don't mind if I take a sneak peek, right? Mind if I take a sneak peek? Yeah, looks like lovely stuff in that Amul hamper for sure. Photographers, get that wide frame in. Thank you very much. Congratulations to Project Nanhi Kali and the very, very diligent people executing the project, and the recipients as well. A big thank you to our presenters as well. Right, ladies and gentlemen, now on to the next award. This award is the Young Achiever of the Year Boy. And we always know that the future of Indian sports shines brightest in its young champions. Athletes who step onto the national and international stage with confidence, determination, and of course that extraordinary promise that you get to see really early on. The Young Achiever of the Year Boy Award recognizes a rising talent whose performances have already signaled the arrival of a remarkable sporting journey ahead. To present this award, I'm going to request Ms. Anjali Bhagwat, Olympian, and of course former world #1, a jury member as well, to kindly come up on stage, along with Shashi Sinha, strategic advisor at the OMD Group, to come up on stage. Since we'd like to show the nominees for this, I'm going to request my presenters to please stand on this side of the stage. Good to see you, ma'am, once again. Sir, thank you so much for being here with us this evening. Right here. Thank you so much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the nominees for the Young Achiever of the Year Boy Award. Here are the nominees: Jonathan Gavin Anthony, Sumit Malik, Vaibhav Suryavanshi. The names are right there. And ladies and gentlemen, the Sportstar Aces Young Achiever of the Year Boy Award goes to Jonathan Gavin Anthony. Can we have a huge round of applause for this young man? won the Junior World Cup gold by a margin of 8.5 points. His tally equaled the standing Olympic record score that belongs to Javed Foghani. Ladies and gentlemen, he won 3 medals at the Asian Championships, 2 silvers and a bronze. Won a 10-meter air pistol mixed team silver at the same competition with Vanshika. And of course, became the youngest national games champion in the men's 10-meter air pistol. There's so much to talk about for this young lad. Many congratulations to you. Thank you to our presenters for doing the honors. Congratulations, Jonathan. And wishing you loads of success in future. May this just be the beginning of greater things to come. Ladies and gentlemen, the next award is the Young Achiever of the Year Girl. And of course, every generation of champions begins with the young athletes who dared. We're talking about them daring to dream bigger, better. And of course, they train harder, push beyond limits. That's something that we've seen from them. The Young Achiever of the Year Girl honors a young sportswoman whose performances have captured the attention and whose journey promises an exciting future for Indian sport. I'm going to request Suma Shirur, Olympian and former chief coach of the Indian shooting side, to kindly come up and join us on stage along with Professor R. Mohana Krishnan, the Director Sports, SRM Institute of Science and Technology. Sir, can we have your presence on stage along with Suma Shirur, ma'am? Thank you so much. Pleasure to see you again, ma'am. Welcome back, is what I'll say to you, sir. And let's take a look at the nominees for the Young Achiever of the Year Girl Award. They're on your screen, please. Anahat Singh, Atik Amir, Divyanshi Bhaumik. There's, of course, G. Kamalini, there's Pooja, and there is Suruchi Singh. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sportstar Aces Young Achiever of the Year Girl is Suruchi Singh. Can we have her come up on stage, please? Suruchi Singh, ladies and gentlemen, made her senior international debut, became world #1 within a span of less than 5 months. Won 3 medals with Saurabh as a partner at the World Cup gold. It was a World Cup bronze and an Asian Championships bronze as well. Won a team bronze medal at the Asian Championships. And of course, an individual gold at the World Cup final in Doha. Broke the junior world record. Claimed a hat-trick of individual World Cup gold medals. This young girl is gunning for glory. Many congratulations to you. Congratulations, Suruchi. Wishing you well, and a big thank you to our presenters as well. It's amazing to see these youngsters going from strength to strength, and it's really heartening to see that they've only just begun. Reminds me of that Carpenter's track. Right, now on to the next award. This is the Club or State Team of the Year Award. Of course, behind every successful sporting nation are teams that embody discipline, unity, and an unrelenting pursuit of excellence. The Club or State Team of the Year, this award recognizes a team whose collective effort, consistency, and determination have delivered outstanding performances over the past year. To present this award, I'm going to request Mr. Jatin Paranjpe, member of the BCCI Cricket Advisory Committee, along with Mr. Ajinkya Nayak, President, Mumbai Cricket Association, and Mr. Amardeep Singh, COO of Omnicom Media India, to kindly come up on stage. In fact, I'm sorry, I'm going to just make a little change here. I'm going to request Mr. Nilesh Kulkarni, former India cricketer, to kindly come up on stage. Nilesh bhai, can we have you come up on stage? I'm going to request Mr. Satyaki Ghosh, CEO Raymond, to kindly come up on stage. Apologies for that little change on my side. I'm going to request Mr. Ghosh to come up on stage along with Mr. Nilesh Kulkarni to present this award. Thank you, gentlemen. Good to see you. Thank you so much, sir. Right, ladies and gentlemen, before we move on and present this award, I'm going to request our two presenters to kindly move to the side of the stage so that we can show the nominees for this award. Please, can we have the nominees for the award? There's Dabang Delhi in PKL, there's Mohun Bagan Super Giants, and there's Mumbai Indians WPL 2025. We're talking about that side, the RCB side of 2025, and there is Vidarbha, who won the Ranji Trophy. So ladies and gentlemen, those are your nominees there. And the Sportstar Aces Club or State Team of the Year is the Vidarbha cricket team, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to request Mr. Usman Ghani, the head coach, along with Akshay Wadkar, the captain, and also Sanjay Badkas, the secretary, Vidarbha Cricket Association, to please come up on stage and accept the award. Starting, of course, with Mr. Sanjay Badkas, the secretary. There's Mr. Usman Ghani. And not to forget Akshay Wadkar. You look back at that previous season, not the one that's just gotten over, but the previous one, of course. What a fantastic run it was, going on and clinching the title in the days format, making the finals in the 50-over format. What a fantastic run it was for the side when you look back at the previous season. Many congratulations to the entire team. And of course, a big thank you to our presenters as well. Right, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to our next award. This award is the Coach of the Year award. Behind every successful athlete stands that coach, a mentor who's shaped the talent, built confidence, and of course guided athletes towards excellence. The Coach of the Year award honors individuals whose leadership, insight, and dedication played a crucial role in shaping outstanding sporting performances. Ladies and gentlemen, this year, the jury has chosen to honor two exceptional coaches whose leadership and guidance has played a crucial role in shaping outstanding sporting performances. I'm going to request the 8-time national table tennis champion, Kamlesh Mehta ji, to kindly come up on stage. Sir, can we have your presence on stage? I'm also going to request Mr. N. Vaidyanathan, AVP West, the Hindu group, to please come up on stage as well to present this award. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sportstar Aces Coach of the Year award, the first one, because as I said, we have two. It goes to Naval Singh. Ladies and gentlemen, may we request Naval Singh ji's presence on stage. He's making his way. You can see him right from the back of the hall. Dronacharya awardee himself, of course. When you talk about javelin coaches, you've got to remember his name. Talk about the para-athletes who've excelled under him. You've got some amazing performances. There's Sachin, of course. Let's talk about him as well, who won the gold at the National Games. He's trained Paralympic champion Sumit Antil as well, Navdeep Singh as well. So there is just so much to talk about when you talk about Naval Singh ji's contribution towards the success of javelin throwers in this country. Sachin, remember, won gold at the National Games at the Federation Cup this year, bagged a silver at the Asian Championships as well, under his tutelage. Many congratulations, sir, and a big thank you to our award presenters as well. Right, the next award, again, as I said, Coach of the Year. We had two awardees this year. To present this award, I'm going to request the former India men's team bowling coach Paras Mamre and Dr. Gangadhar Raju, founder and president of the Indian Softball Cricket League, to kindly come up on stage. Paras Pambre, ladies and gentlemen, former India cricketer as well, coming up on stage along with Dr. Raju. Thank you so much, sir, for your presence. Right, and ladies and gentlemen, our next Sportstar Aces Coach of the Year awardee is Amol Mazumdar. Ladies and gentlemen, what a fantastic effort he had, a run with the Indian women's cricket team, winning the World Cup. Unfortunately, Amol is not here with us this evening to accept the award, so I'm going to request Avishkar Salvi to kindly step up, please. He's been with the Indian women's cricket team as the bowling coach. I'm requesting Avishkar to kindly step up and accept the award on Amol's behalf. Congratulations to Amol in absentia. And thank you, Avishkar, for accepting that award on his behalf. Thank you to our presenters for having done the honors. Ladies and gentlemen, now to another Ace of Aces Award, another one of the prestigious honors that we present at the Sportstar Aces Award. This recognition celebrates athletes with extraordinary achievements, lasting impact, and of course, they've shaped the legacy of Indian sport on the global stage. I'm going to request the Indian women's cricket legend, former India captain, Jhulan Goswami, to kindly come up on stage. She's inspired so many young girls to take up fast bowling. And of course, one of the kind. And I'm also going to request the Director Marketing at Indian Oil Corporation Limited, Mr. Soumitra P. Srivastav, to kindly come up on stage to present the award. Jhulan, thank you so much for being here with us this evening. Pleasure to see you here. I'm going to request Mr. Srivastava as well to kindly join us. So, warm welcome one more time. Super. And ladies and gentlemen, the Sportstar Ace of Aces award goes to Sakshi Malik. Can I request Sakshi to come up on stage, please? Trailblazer in Indian wrestling. We all remember that bronze that she got in Rio 2016, fighting against all odds. Points against her at that time. Trailing. Good to see you, ma'am. Good to see you. May we request you to be center stage, please? Mr. Srivastava, yes, please. Thank you so much. A big thank you to our presenters, but Sakshi, we're not going to let you go just right now. Thank you to our presenters. Julian, we will have a word with you later. Thank you so much, Mr. Srivastava, as well. Okay. Please, let me hold that. Let me hold this as well. And you want to hold on to the trophy? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, for those who may just need their memory to be refreshed, 2016 Rio Olympics, the rapid charge round, Sakshi trailing on points. We've had this conversation many times, Sakshi. और उसके बाद वो comeback. कहते हैं setback बड़ा हो तो comeback उससे बड़ा होना चाहिए. Just talk us through those moments.
सबसे पहले सभी को मेरा नमस्कार और स्पोर्ट्स स्टार को, सभी जूरी मेंबर को और ऑर्गेनाइजर्स को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मुझे इस अवार्ड से सम्मानित करने के लिए. और आप लोग बहुत बेहतरीन काम कर रहे हो, क्योंकि एक खिलाड़ी को जब अवार्ड मिले या मेडल मिले तो उसके लिए हमेशा मेमोरेबल मोमेंट होता है. तो एक बार फिर से धन्यवाद. और रही बात वो मैच तो मैं कभी लाइफ में भी नहीं भूल पाऊँगी. बिल्कुल लास्ट आई थिंक 7-8 सेकंड तक भी मैं पीछे चल रही थी और वो एक लास्ट मूव, और मुझे भी यकीन नहीं हुआ कि मैं ओलंपिक मेडलिस्ट बन गई हूँ. तो वो जो मोमेंट है वो मतलब बहुत बार क्वेश्चन किए गए, लेकिन वो कभी ना वर्ड्स में बताया नहीं जाता, क्योंकि वहाँ जो फीलिंग्स होती है ना, कभी मैं खुश थी, कभी मैं रो रही थी, कभी बहुत ज़्यादा एक्साइटेड दिख रही थी. आपने वीडियो में देखा होगा, तो वो बड़ी मिक्स्ड फीलिंग थी. और मेरे लिए वो मैच सबसे मेमोरेबल था और वो मेडल बहुत यादगार था. तो मैं आप सभी के प्यार, सम्मान, आशीर्वाद के लिए मैं फिर से धन्यवाद करना चाहूँगी.
There are lots of wrestlers who've been inspired by your achievements. इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है. मैं एक दिलचस्प सवाल पूछना चाहता हूँ. सत्यव्रत भी रेसलर है. मैं बताना चाहता हूँ यहाँ पे इनके जो हस्बैंड हैं वो भी रेसलर हैं. तो जस्ट मान लीजिए कहीं हर घर में ऊंच नीच होती है, थोड़ी सी ऊपर नीचे होता है. तो मान लीजिए अगर कोई थोड़ी सी ऊपर नीचे होती है तो फिर मामला सेटल कैसे होता है?
देखो हमारा ना स्पोर्ट्स एक तो बहुत एग्रेसिव स्पोर्ट्स है, कॉम्बैट स्पोर्ट है, कॉन्टैक्ट है. तो वहीं पे हम मैट पे इतना थक जाते हैं कि घर पे आने के बाद कोई लड़ाई करने की किसी की क्षमता नहीं बचती.
और जाते जाते एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन. बहुत सारी यंग गर्ल्स, यंग रेसलर्स आपके पास आई हैं, पूछा है उन्होंने कि व्हाट डू वी नीड टू डू. तो उनके लिए आपकी एडवाइस क्या रहती है फॉर ऑल दोज एस्पायरिंग यंग रेसलर्स?
सबसे पहले तो मैं कहना चाहूँगी, देखो जिस समय मैंने कुश्ती शुरू की थी ना, सुविधाओं के नाम पे कुछ भी नहीं था. हम सिर्फ उस सेंटर पे 3 से 4 लड़कियां थी. हम लड़कों के साथ ट्रेनिंग करते थे. टीन की छत होती थी, बारिश में टपक रही है, धूप में इतनी ज़्यादा गर्मी, ठंड में ठंड से मर रहे हैं, मैट पे इतनी ज़्यादा ठंड लगती थी. तो उस समय भी हम ट्रेनिंग करके और एक ऐसे मैं एक बहुत मध्य परिवार से निकल के अगर ओलंपिक्स तक पहुंच सकती हूँ, तो आज के में तो सुविधाएं बहुत बढ़ गई है. जगह जगह रेसलिंग अकेडमीज़ हैं. जिस अकेडमी में मैं ट्रेनिंग करती थी, आज वो मेरे नाम से वो गवर्नमेंट ने एसी अकेडमी करवा दी है. मतलब आप हर वेदर में बहुत अच्छे से ट्रेन कर सकते हो. तो बिल्कुल सुविधाएं इतनी बढ़ गई हैं. आप बस अपना टारगेट, अपना ड्रीम बिल्कुल सेट कर लीजिए कि हाँ मुझे ओलंपिक्स तक पहुँचना है, मेडल जीतना है. तो आप 100% कर सकते हो. कोई भी बाधाएं आए या कोई भी डिस्ट्रैक्शन, आप बिल्कुल आपको ध्यान नहीं देना है. बस अगर आप फोकस, पूरे डेडिकेशन, हार्ड वर्क से अगर लगे रहोगे तो आप 100% अचीव करोगे.
Thank you so much, Sakshi, for speaking with us, and many congratulations. This is yours, and I'll take this back. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a round of applause for Sakshi Malik, please. Right, ladies and gentlemen, on to the next award. And this is an award for Comeback of the Year. And we all know in sport, well, there's success. There's always going to be that ECG line of success and maybe heartbreak. I won't call it failure, but I'll just call it heartbreak as well. There are setbacks, there are injuries, and there are challenges that often come. They're a part of a sportsman's career. But the comeback after a setback, that's what defines the true champion and their ability to rise again. The Comeback of the Year, this award recognizes an athlete who's shown extraordinary determination and resilience to return to peak performance after adversity. Ladies and gentlemen, to present this award, I'm going to request Mr. Adil Sumeriwala, Vice President, World Athletics Federation. Sir, can we have you come up on stage along with Dr. Anurag Batra, Chairman and Editor-in-Chief of Business World and Founder, Exchange for Media Group, to kindly come up on stage. Adil, sir, once again, an honor to meet you. So good to see you. Dr. Batra, good to see you, sir. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sportstar Aces Comeback of the Year Award. We don't need nominees for this. There's a clear-cut winner. Murali Sri Shankar, can we have him step up, please? Ladies and gentlemen, one of India's finest long jumpers. Murali Sri Shankar's journey back to the top is a testament to his perseverance, his hard work, and that unshakable belief that he can do it. Yes, we want you to take center stage, young man. He's kept the tricolor flying high. There have been moments of joy that we've experienced as people covering sport and fans who've been watching the sport, where you proudly say that, yes, we've got an Indian track and field athlete there. Thank you so much to our presenters, and thank you so much, Murali. Congratulations to you on that Comeback of the Year award. Ladies and gentlemen, on to our next award now. The Award of Excellence, the Sportstar Aces Award of Excellence, celebrates athletes whose journeys have gone beyond medals and beyond scorelines. These are champions, ladies and gentlemen, whose skill, leadership, and influence has helped shape the narrative of Indian sport. It's inspired young athletes, it's elevated those athletes in their respective disciplines, and of course, their representation of the country has been with the greatest distinction at the global stage. This year, ladies and gentlemen, the jury has chosen to honor 3 exceptional athletes, each of whom left an indelible mark on Indian sport. I'm going to request our jury member, Vishwanathan Anand sir, to kindly come up on stage, sir, to present this award. I'm going to request you to come up on stage, along with the Managing Director and CEO of LIC, that's R. Doraiswamy sir. Can we have the 2 of you up on stage? There's not 1, not 2. As I said before, he's the man who's got the moves, and he's the man who's ensuring 70% of India. Sir, I hope I got that number right. At one point in time, must be higher. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, the Award of Excellence, I'm going to call out those 3 names all together because that's the way I'd like to go about this task. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to request the presence of Manika Batra, Tanya Sachdev, and Rani Rampal on stage, please. When you talk about Manika Batra, trailblazer in Indian table tennis, talk about the first Indian female paddler to go on and win a medal at the Asian Games, that's in itself a huge achievement. Tanya Sachdev, of course, talk about a distinguished figure in chess. Here she comes, ambassador of the sport. And of course, Rani Rampal, who can forget her fiery captaincy for the women's hockey team and the achievements. I'm going to request trophies and citations to be presented to the 3 of them. Rishi sir, presenting that to Rani Rampal. Of course, there's Tanya as well. Mr. Doraiswamy doing the needful. Can we have all of you pose for a photo opportunity, sir? Doraiswamy, you can actually come to this side. Flank our 3 achievers. Thank you to our presenters, but I'm going to request our award winners to stay back on stage. We can't let you go without having a conversation. Thank you so much to our presenters, though. So thank you so much for doing the honors. Manika, do you want me to hold something there? You're sure?
Yeah.
Well, for someone who's been very patriotic, we remember when you were playing for the country, there's that scenario, if you remember the nail art a lot of times that Manika Batra has carried while she's playing for the country. Everyone's seen her play. Everyone's seen her win medals, achieve, whether it's the Commonwealth Games where you had a sterling performance, or the medal at the Asian Games. But the thought about being expressive about your love for the country, whether it's carrying it on your nail art, the way you carry yourself during those competitions, talk us through that.
First of all, good evening, everyone. And thank you so much, Sportstar and respected jury members, for honoring me with this award. Yes, like you said, I love my country. And first of all, I'm a girl. I love to, do nail paints and everything. But yeah,
I'm just reminding everybody, an athlete who's performing at the elite level, winning medals for the country. She's saying, all right, I'm a girl, I like my nail art, I like my hair extensions, it's okay.
Yeah, but I love my country and I love to put the nail paint of Indian tricolor on my nail because like when I play, when I do service, I can see that, Indian tricolor, and that motivates me a lot when I do service and when I play.
Yeah, that's one way of looking at it. I'm going to come back to this, Manika, in just a short while. Rani, मैं आपसे ये पूछना चाहता हूँ. For someone who's captained the side with great distinction with the women's hockey team, the way you lead the side, the aggressiveness that you bring to your play, कितना मुश्किल रहा वो सफर करियर शुरू करते हुए और उसके बाद उस एस्ट्रो टर्फ तक पहुंच के इंडिया को लीड करते हुए?
सभी को नमस्कार एंड फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थैंक्स टू स्पोर्ट्सस्टार इस अवार्ड के लिए एज साक्षी सेड कि एक एथलीट हमेशा ही एथलीट रहता है, चाहे वो यंग हो चाहे वो 50 इयर्स ओल्ड हो जाए, जब भी उसको कोई मेडल और ट्रॉफी मिलती है सो डैट मेक्स हर और हिम मोटिवेटेड टू डू वेल इन द फ्यूचर ऑल्सो. यस वो सफ़र इतना आसान तो नहीं था क्योंकि जैसे सभी को पता है मैं हरियाणा के कुरुक्षेत्र डिस्ट्रिक्ट शाहबाद से मैंने अपनी जर्नी शुरू की थी. सो बीइंग अ 7-year-old गर्ल उस टाइम सोसाइटी में ये बोलना कि लड़की को हॉकी खेलनी है दैट वाज द बिगेस्ट चैलेंज फॉर मी ऑनेस्टली. बट आई थिंक वो जितने भी चैलेंजेस आए इफ़ आई लुक बैक आई फील इट वर्थ इट क्योंकि उन सब चैलेंजेस ने लाइफ में इतना कुछ सिखाया. शायद वो ना आते तो जहाँ मैं आज हूँ मैं वहाँ ना पहुँच पाती क्योंकि आई फील कि सक्सेस हैंडल करना ज़्यादा मुश्किल है, फेलियर हैंडल करना आसान है. एंड फेलियर आपको बहुत कुछ सिखाती है, चैलेंज आपको बहुत कुछ सिखाते हैं. मैंने कभी नहीं सोचा था एक कार्ड पुलर की डॉटर होके कि मैं कभी इंडिया को रिप्रेजेंट करूँगी प्राउडली 15 ईयर्स, या मैं कभी इंडिया को ओलंपिक गेम्स में लीड करूँगी. एंड आई एम रियली प्राउड ऑफ ऑल द गर्ल्स जिनके साथ मैं खेली 2 ओलंपिक गेम्स में क्योंकि कहने को एक टीम होती है बट अगर उसको देखें तो वो 18 अलग अलग पार्ट्स में इंडिया के जाते हैं लड़कियाँ, जहाँ वो 18 लड़कियाँ मुझे लगता है कि करोड़ों लड़कियों को इंस्पायर करती हैं अलग अलग स्टेट डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स गाँव में जाके स्पोर्ट्स खेलने के लिए.
चक दे इंडिया का परफेक्ट एग्जाम्पल यहाँ पे. Tanya, I'm going to request, do you want me to hold on to something there? Sure. Chess champ. We talked about one who's got all the moves there, the gentleman who's sitting there, Vishy Anand sir. She's now accomplished, not just as a chess player, as a commentator, as a broadcaster, as an anchor. Tanya is playing multiple roles now. For some of you who may not be aware, I just wanted to share that with you. And I'm going to ask you this, Tanya. So, is it more difficult? What do you find more difficult? Planning that end game move against a seasoned chess player, or explaining what is happening to some novice like me who's just thinking that chess is all about moving pieces from one box to the other? What would you find more difficult?
I think both have their own challenges, but firstly, a very good evening to all of you, and thank you so much for this award. I think it's a great question, and if you'd asked me this a couple of years ago, maybe my answer would be different. At different points of our lives, different things are difficult, challenging, but that's what makes them beautiful as well. When I played competitive sport till up to about the 2024 Chess Olympiad, I would say the preparation, the hard work as an athlete is actually the hardest part of any sport, because that's the non-glamorous part, right? That's the part nobody sees. That's what nobody witnesses. You don't have the cameras then when you're working on your opening, your end games, when you're working hard, when you have those difficult moments, when you have failures across the board. I think getting over that, but those are the stepping stones to taking you to the bigger picture. Speaking of broadcast, I think I'm really blessed to have second innings with my game. So I take that as a privilege, a joy to call that my job now. And I would say that when I do commentary, while it's really difficult, I do sleep better than I used to when I used to play. And I'd just like to end by saying that this night has just been made so much more special with the fact that this award was presented by the King of Kings himself, Vishy sir. Thank you.
There you have it. There you have it. Okay. One question that's common to the three of you. You know, you've been path breakers in your own right, in your own sport. And the fact that we talk about and we celebrate the achievements of women in sport in this country. What do you think has been the game changer for you? What is the one aspect that has been the game changer for you? And what is it that you'd like to see changing further for more girls to achieve in sport in India? Whoever would like to go first. This is an open to the broadcaster first.
You know, I'm going to echo what Sakshi said earlier on the stage here, that and I feel that and I relate that to 100%, that when I started playing as well, and let's say India about 15 years ago, the opportunities that we had, the tournaments that we could play in, the support that we had, it was very different from the scenario. I truly think there's no better time to be an athlete, to dream to play for the country than today. And it comes down to the opportunities, the support, the government policies that exist. When I was playing, I had my first Grandmaster training when I was 19 years old. I can speak for my sport. Today, the youngsters are able to get that exposure when they're 9 years old and even younger sometimes. And I think it's absolutely true. All you need to do is put in the work, believe in yourself, believe in your dreams, love your sport, and everything is possible.
Wow. Let's have a round of applause for that, for the fact that you're talking about believing. But ma'am, for someone who's known not to hold back, Rani Rampal.
रिसेंटली मैं अभी एक्चुअली यूके में गई, एक विश प्रोग्राम था विमेंस इन स्पोर्ट्स हाई परफॉर्मेंस, जहाँ पे मैंने देखा कि 25 विमेंस अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड वहाँ पे आई, एंड आई वाज अमेज्ड टू सी कि वहाँ पे लोग विमेंस को कैसे सपोर्ट करते हैं, राइट. आई सी टू विमेन, एक का 4 months का बच्चा था, एक का 2.5 का. सो दे ब्रिंग देयर किड्स विद देम, एंड जो भी वहाँ पे एजुकेटर्स फैसिलिटेटर थे, दे वर सो हैप्पी. They were holding their kids, and they were helping them so much कि आप अपने कोर्स पे फोकस कीजिए, don't worry about your kid and all. So I was so amazed कि अगर हमारी कंट्री में एक ऐसा एक कल्चर विमेंस के लिए हम क्रिएट करें कि no worries if you get married, if you have babies, bring it on, we will help you, because हम just because someone got married or someone had just kids, उसके कारण हम उसका टैलेंट वेस्ट नहीं कर सकते, rather than कि हम उसको सपोर्ट करें ताकि हम उसके टैलेंट को और ज़्यादा यूज़ कर सकें to bring the change in the society and in the country.
Very well said. Very well said. Longevity of an athlete. But Monica, would you like to add something to that?
I think इन्होंने सब बोल दिया है दोनों ने, but I would just say अभी recently facilities, if I talk about, अभी बहुत अच्छी हो गई है. Government is supporting, federations are really good. But I think अगर आपका dream है, goals हैं, ये सब matter नहीं करता है. If you want to, reach उस level पे, अगर आपको इंडिया के लिए medal लाना है या Olympics में medal लाना है, you just have to focus on your dream, and you should have that confidence in yourself that you can do it, because बाहर लोग बोलेंगे कुछ भी, but you have to focus on yourself and say to yourself that you can do it.
Well, she's echoed the thoughts of, I think, every elite athlete. Yes, please.
I just was thinking about your question a little bit about, especially for young girls, as you mentioned. I think also seeing is believing. So when they see women achievers, I think that's when the belief also comes in them. When they see the hard work being celebrated, they have the desire to get there. And because I see the crowd that's here today, many of you are parents of young boys and girls. But I'll say this for the young girls. I think today they are so incredibly smart. They know exactly what they want to do. They have the dreams. They have the belief. So I think my message would be more to the parents and everyone around them. Let them fly. Let them do what they want to do. And truly be honest with that dedication with them. Thank you.
Thank you so much to all three of you. Thank you very much for inspiring a lot of young girls to go out there and pursue their dreams. And I'm sure their parents, after listening to you, are going to let them do that and in fact encourage them to do the same. Thank you very much. Many congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 awardees there. Monica Batra, Rani Rampal, Tanya Sardev. Right, ladies and gentlemen, on to our next award. Right. We're talking about Olympic sport, Sportsman of the Year Award, Olympic sport. Of course, when you talk about Olympic sports, you're talking about representing at the pinnacle of athletic excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, this award celebrates a sportsman whose performances have stood out on the international stage and reinforced India's growing strength in the Olympic disciplines. I'm going to request Mr. Suresh Balakrishna, CRO of the Hindu group, to kindly come up on stage, sir. And I'm also going to request Mr. Partha Sinha, Senior Advisor, McKinsey, to kindly come up on stage to present this award. Thank you for your presence, sir, this evening. Thank you so much. Suresh sir needs no introduction, but nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, very quickly, let's take a look at the nominees for Sportsman of the Year. Not one, but two, Chirag and Satvik. Of course, there's Rishabh Yadav and there's Sachin Yadav on that list as well, along with Samrat Rana and Sujit Kalakal, sorry, I beg your pardon. Ladies and gentlemen, now, there is also Samrat Rana, as I said, and Sujit Kalakal. Now, moving on to Sportstar Aces Sportsman of the Year Olympic sport. And the winner, ladies and gentlemen, is Samrat Rana. Can we have Samrat step up on stage, please? Congratulations, Samrat. I request our presenters to take center stage along with Samrat, please. Many congratulations to you, Samrat. Congratulations, Samrat. Hope you enjoyed the evening. And a big thank you to our presenters as well. Thank you very much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, on to our next award. This is Mentor of the Roots Award. The award celebrates those who dedicate themselves to identifying and developing young athletes, ensuring the foundation of Indian sport continues to grow stronger with each passing year. I'm going to request India's Grandmaster Praveen Tipse to please kindly come up on stage to present this award. And I'm also going to request the CEO of TAM India, L.V. Krishnan, to kindly come up on stage to present this award. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sportstar Aces Mentor of the Roots Award goes to Preetham Sewach. Can we request a presence on stage, please? This is going out to Preetham Sewach ji for a wonderful contribution to grassroots sport. Former player, then Dronacharya awardee. We look back at her efforts with Indian hockey and women's hockey. Unbelievable contribution to the sport, not just as a player, but then a mentor and a coach as well. We remember, I think it was the Commonwealth Games 2002, Manchester, where that sterling show of the team. I look back, I was in the studios at that time. I'm going back almost, 25 years or so. And then I had a little backstory to this. Her son and daughter also play the sport. Just a little interesting story there for you. And I was in Jakarta in 2022 when her son played for the India senior side and was a bronze medalist at the Asia Cup as well. So just a side story there, ma'am. Congratulations to you for the award and all the efforts that you've put in, not just as a player, but then as a coach as well. Big thank you to our presenters as well. Her daughter Kanika plays as well. Just a quick reminder on that front as well. So when sport is in the family, you know, talking about being in the family, we have Mr. Patan here with us. We'll talk a little more about that. On to the next award, the Sportstar Casa Grand Standard Award, ladies and gentlemen. Great teams are shaped by great leadership. Captains carry the responsibility of guiding their teams through pressure, inspiring belief, and of course, setting the standard for everyone else to follow. And tonight, we honor a remarkable group of leaders who've captained the Indian women's cricket team over the years. Ladies and gentlemen, this special recognition is the Sportstar Casa Grande Standard Award, celebrating the captains who helped build the legacy as far as women's cricket is concerned and set the benchmark for future generations to follow. Let's first, very quickly, take a look at this AV.
A standard isn't born overnight. It is built in the quiet moments before the roar, in the grit of a dusty pitch, and in the hearts of those who refuse to accept good enough. In the 70s and 80s, our pioneers weren't just playing a sport. They were laying the first bricks of a legacy, establishing the first standard to exist and excel when the world said you couldn't. Then came the architects of the game, the captains who understood that to lead is to protect the foundation with precision, consistency, and the unwavering focus of a long spell. They taught us that leadership isn't always about the loud moments, it's about the quiet discipline of doing it right every single time. Becoming the benchmark that others measure themselves against. Today, that standard has reached the sky. It's faster, sharper, and bolder. From the historic breakthroughs of Mithali and Julan to the modern mastery of Harmanpreet and Smriti, the game has evolved into a masterclass of audacity and skill. At Casa Grande, we recognize this relentless journey because our philosophy is mirrored in theirs. We don't just build structures, we build to a standard that stands the test of time with integrity in every beam, innovation in every corner, and excellence in every square foot. Whether it is 22 yards of turf or thousands of square feet of dreams, quality is the only language we speak. Tonight, as we partner with Sportstar Aces, we celebrate the women captains of Indian cricket, the true custodians of the gold standard. Casa Grande Standards, built for captains, built for you.
Thank you for the applause, and my request is to please keep it coming as the awards night progresses. Ladies and gentlemen, to present this award, I'm going to request Dr. Nirmala Lakshman, chairperson of the Hindu group, to kindly come up on stage, along with Sumant Krishna R, director at Casa Grande, requesting your presence on stage. Welcome back, ma'am. Good to have you here, sir. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we have now the moment to invite 10 former captains of the Indian women's cricket team, and we'd request their presence on stage, starting with Diana Edulji. Ma'am, can we have you come up on stage? Oh, thank you so much, ma'am, for being here. Nilima Joglekar ji. Shubhangi Kulkarni ji, ma'am, can we have your presence on stage? Sandhya Agarwal ji. Purnima Rao. There's a lovely story that Ayon just spoke about how she was captaining the side back in the 90s in New Zealand. They won the series, and the Sportstar article was written, and the match report and the report on Indian team's performance was written by none other than Purnima Rao ji. This Sudha Shah ji requesting her presence on stage. I'm going to request Pramila Bhatt ma'am to please come up on stage. Chandrakanta Kaul ji requesting your presence on stage. Anju Jain ji, ma'am, can we have you come up on stage? And of course, Julan Goswami. Can we have Julan come up on stage? You've all been an inspiration across generations. No, I believe Sportstar have pulled off a coup here. Because when you're talking about women's cricket in this country, you're spanning generations of leaders of the Indian women's cricket team across the ages. You're looking back from the 70s all the way into the new millennium. This is the coup. I believe you. I believe you made this. I don't think it's happened before. Let's have a huge round of applause. The ladies here on stage have shaped Indian women's cricket, seen it evolve from that nascent stage into world champions that we became in 2025. So credit where it's due. It starts at the roots. It starts back then. You trace the development. You don't get champions overnight. You don't get champions overnight, ladies and gentlemen. There's a story here. Requesting Nirmala ma'am, she's presenting a token of our appreciation to former India captains here on stage. We've got Mr. Sumant as well doing the honors, presenting the citations and a small little memento, a token of our appreciation. There's a lot happening there. I would request everyone to please, gather around for a nice photo opportunity once the presentation is done. One thing I can assure you, if the citation goes left or right, it's all in the family. It'll come back to the right person. I'm sure of that. That's not going to be an issue. Suman sir, Nirmala ma'am, can we request you for a photo opportunity, please? Each one of the captains there have got, oh yes, can you see that? It's got a Sportstar cover page with their photographs on it. Can you please turn that around and show it to everyone? There you go, there you go. That puts things into perspective, doesn't it? Right. I think everyone's got that. Now we can have that one good photo opportunity moment. Can we have the cover facing outwards, please, for that photograph? All right. A big thank you to our presenters. Nirmala ma'am, thank you so much. Suman sir, thank you so much for doing the honors and presenting this to our captains. But Julian wants to go off stage, but that's not going to happen. I have a microphone in hand, so it means I'm going to talk. No, yeah, of course. We will start with you, ma'am. Of course. That's all right. The important part here is...
I have opened the bowling also.
We're talking about the women's team becoming world champions. And I said, don't just live in the present. You've got to look back at what happened in the past because it led to where you are today. I want to ask you, go back to that era when you're pioneers of the sport, women's cricket in this country. At a time, we're talking about the 70s, 60s,
years.
50, almost 50 odd years ago. Just talk us through the challenges that you faced and how were you able to overcome it to begin playing the sport in the first place?
Well, 50 years is a long time. First, I'd like to thank Sportstar and the jury members also for considering to honor the captains right from 1976 till, I think the other ones also should be here, but some of them are missing.
Yes.
But our journey has been a long one. Shubhangi, me, Sudha, we were the first pioneers in the first test we played in 1976. Exactly, Nilima also, sorry. So it's 50 years now. We are into the 50. Yes, West Indies.
It was the West Indies, 1976.
So it's a golden jubilee year for us. We are still surviving. Shanta also is one of them. And it was very, very difficult playing in those days. We've had remarks saying that women should not be playing, they should be in the kitchen, and all that, but we've survived all that. We played for the passion. We played paying for ourselves to go abroad to play for India. Today, it's a different ball game completely. It's good. The foundation we laid, I think, like Casablanca, if I've got it right, Casa Grande. The foundation is strong and the building has come up well.
There you have it. Quite like Casa Grande. So I'm going to just go across two spectrums. Julian, I'm going to come straight to you now because I'm going to come back to someone in between. I will. For someone who made a lot of young girls aspire to become fast bowlers. You're talking about women's cricket, you're talking about India, and you talk about that breakthrough that you've brought into women's cricket. What was it that inspired you to take up fast bowling? And what is the advice you'd like to give to young girls wanting to become fast bowlers now?
First of all, I'd like to thanks to Sportstar Hindu management having me over here. And it was huge honor and sharing these stalwarts or our idols. And it's been honor for me. And honestly speaking, when I was young, when I started playing, I was watching only, Kapil Dev sir, television. Later on, Glenn McGrath and Wasim Akram.
Well, so, none of them's here. Glenn McGrath sir is here.
He was one of my idol. When I understood that cricket is all about consistency and accuracy, and I start following him, and I used to have his photo in my wallet as well. So I used to think that, as a young kid, if I have all videos, all photos, all actions, so probably I can deliver. But at the same time, a lot of hard work is there, and definitely all those seniors, they help me. And as a youngsters, I used to just want to bowl fast, because when I used to play with my boys, they never used to give me the ball because they feel that I bowl slow. So that was always trigger me to bowl faster. And after that is just keep doing well and keep working hard and try to contribute for my team each and every game.
Just one corollary to that question. We just a little while ago saw a video of a young girl trying to emulate Jasprit Bumrah's bowling action and trying to bowl like that. Your thoughts on that?
I think this generation, they'll definitely follow Jasprit, because Jasprit Bumrah for me is a once in a generation bowler you have in Indian team, who is a consistent match winner, performer for Indian team. So for me, when I was young, I used to follow Kapil Dev, Glenn McGrath, Javagal Srinath, because as a youngster, you need idols. Unfortunately, we don't have any women's cricketers video or footage those days to follow them, to copy them. So for me, it was like 1992, I started watching cricket televised matches. So first time I saw Kapil Dev sir, Javagal Srinath sir, and then later on Wasim sir and Glenn McGrath sir. So I used to copy them and try to, emulate them with my brothers to, today I'm bowling like a McGrath, today I'm bowling like a Kapil sir, today I'm bowling like a left-arm medium pacer like Wasim sir. So it was like that, and later on, it just happened. Some action I learned. Unfortunately, I learned some action. I don't know how I have learned.
I think it was fortunate for Indian cricket for sure. Women's cricket for sure. Yes, ma'am, of course.
Sorry for this, but I initially said that we used to get some snide remarks about women not playing. But there is one gentleman sitting here who really supported women's cricket right from the beginning, and that is Mr. Sunil Gavaskar. I really appreciate your support, sir. Right, if you remember, you had come to Mrs. Alubamji's house to give us a lecture on how to play cricket, and I can never forget all those days. You've been supportive to women's cricket right through, irrespective of how we played. I've bowled in the nets, and I remember one very big incident, not a very incident as such, but a very hilarious incident, when I was bowling to the late Pathasarthi Sharma, and I beat him, and Sunil sir was standing behind, and he started singing Dundo Dundo Re Sajana. That was encouraging for us, and I really enjoyed my journey bowling to the Indian men's cricket team. Thank you, sir, for all your support.
You know, you went down the road which I actually wanted to go down in terms of support, and taking on from what Julian said a little while ago, the fact that there was no footage available. And you look at what's happening today, I'm sure no young girl today can say there's no footage available of the women's cricket team players playing, matches being televised, you know, tours, overseas tours being covered. In fact, the board covering the nationals as well. So I'm going to come around and ask Chandrakanta ma'am just a couple of questions here. The fact that please step forward so that there's enough light on you as well. The thought that now you've got coverage as well, does it put additional pressure on some of the other players who've come through the ranks, or does it give them the platform to grow and showcase their capability better?
I think this is the best answer I'll pass it to someone, because 26 years back I got married and moved to England, and I just came from there. And I'm a cricket coach over there as well. Sure. So I know
the system there better than here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to.
But I'm just watching Indian women's cricket as well. So I think the best answer.
Who do you think would be the best person to give this to?
The best person, Sudhani. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everybody. Yeah, actually, when we started playing cricket, I think the spectators came as a novelty to see whether women can play. And yeah, we didn't have any matches televised. We were lucky to have at least, you know, in some corner of the paper, some report of the game.
But you go to DY Patil now, you see the WPL matches and you find them jam-packed. The stands are packed even when the national side's playing their games. It's a jam-packed stadium.
Oh yeah, we're very happy to see that, really. I mean, it's so good. And I mean, you can't blame these youngsters today when they say that, you know, when they started playing cricket, they didn't know that women's cricket existed in India, because they didn't have any proof, because none of our matches were televised at that time, though, I mean, we started playing 50 years back. Today, I mean, yeah, I mean, a few of us, because of the newspapers, some, you know, reports, we were household names. But I think today, the 15 are all household names, thanks to the television and the publicity that they get. But it's so good.
Well, I tell you what, the groundwork was done for the last 50 years to see these 15 shine the way they are. A big thank you to all of you. Thank you so much for being here this evening, and many congratulations on the award as well. Big thank you to our captains there, and a big thank you to Nirmala ma'am and Suman sir. Ladies and gentlemen, as they make their way back, let's give them a huge round of applause. This is spanning across generations of Indian women's cricket. We're talking about the mid-1970s, 1976 onwards to be precise, till 2026. 50 years, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable. Right, on to our next award now, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Lifetime Achievement Award that we will focus on. Well, some honors celebrate, as I said, a single season. Others celebrate a lifetime of excellence. And the Sportstar Aces Lifetime Achievement Award recognizes individuals whose remarkable journeys and extraordinary contributions have left a lasting imprint on Indian sport. Let's begin, of course, by celebrating our first Lifetime Achievement honoree. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to take a look at an AV that we'll play for you. Let's take a look at that. We are delighted, of course, ladies and gentlemen, to confer the Sportstar Lifetime Achievement Award on former Indian hurdler MD Valsamma, recognizing her pioneering role in shaping Indian women's athletics. She emerged as one of India's leading track and field athletes during the late 1970s and 80s. She etched her name in history at the 1982 Asian Games in New Delhi, winning gold in the women's 400-meter hurdles, setting both an Asian and a national record. She went on to become the second Indian woman to win an individual Asiad gold and the first to do so on home soil. She also played a key role in India securing silver in the 4x400-meter relay. She later represented India at the 1984 Summer Olympics in LA, where Indian women's team, the 4x400 relay team, reached the Olympics final for the first time. In her 15-year career, she received major honors, including the Arjuna Award in 1982 and, of course, the Padma Shri in 1983. To present this award, I'm going to request Diana Adulji, ma'am, to please come up on stage along with Jayan Mehta, Managing Director of Amul, to please come on stage and present this award. Thank you once again, ma'am. Pleasure to have you here with us, and thank you so much, sir, for being on stage to do the honors. Ladies and gentlemen, may we request the presence of Valsamma ma'am, MD Valsamma ma'am, to please come up on stage and receive the Sportstar Aces Lifetime Achievement Award. The Delhi Asiad 1982 and a gold in the 400-meter hurdles. A moment to cherish, a moment to remember in Indian athletics. Many congratulations, ma'am. And a big thank you to our presenters for doing the honors as well. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Now, if there's a moment that can be captured on camera, this was the moment. Off stage, but two greats of the sport of Indian athletics right here. We're going to come to that. We're going to come to that. Dr. P.T. Usha ma'am is present here in the house, so warm welcome to her. Let's have a round of applause for her. We will see her on stage in a little while, but I couldn't but help myself. With MD Valsamma ma'am, P.T. Usha ma'am, right there, you look back at those days, 1980s of Indian athletics and two shining lights of Indian sport of that time. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our next award is the Lifetime Achievement Award. Honoree who, of course, a distinguished cricketer whose courage, most importantly, leadership and contribution to Indian cricket remains deeply respected. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a quick look at an audio visual we'd like to play for you. It is our pleasure to confer the Sportstar Lifetime Achievement Award to former India captain Nari Contractor, recognizing a career defined by skill, leadership and remarkable resilience. Nariman Jamshedji Contractor, Nari Contractor as he's called, one of India's most accomplished opening batters. Stylish left-hander made his test debut in '55. At just 26, became India's youngest captain at that time and led the team to a historic series win over England in '61-62. His international career was tragically cut short in that 1962 tour to the West Indies when he got struck by that bouncer by the fast bowler Charlie Griffith, caused a fractured skull, multiple surgeries and blood transfusions. He returned to domestic cricket, finishing with over 8,600 runs. Recipient of the C.K. Naidu Lifetime Achievement Award in 2007, he still remains one of the most respected figures in Indian cricket. Ladies and gentlemen, I needn't even take the name, but I'm going to request our jury chairman, Sunil Gavaskar sir, to kindly come up on stage to present this award, along with Mr. Jayan Mehta, Managing Director of Amul. And I am going to request Nari Contractor sir to please come up on stage. Let's have a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot cue a standing ovation. You give a standing ovation. You give it to a man who earns it. You give it to a man who's shown the courage, the resilience, the embodiment of what you want from a captain, a leader, and a name that will forever be etched in Indian cricket for his courage and his leadership. This is the standing ovation, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have it one more time for Nari Contractor sir. Lifetime Achievement Award, ladies and gentlemen. That check, that photograph, that's been framed, and of course the trophy. Sunny sir, I'm going to request you to please take the microphone. I'll hold the trophy for Contractor sir. I'd request you to say a few words, because I think whatever I say won't be enough. So I'd request your inputs on this.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it is an incredible honor to be able to, I'm getting emotional here, to be able to present this award, Lifetime Achievement Award to Naribai. We learned so much from him. Firstly, as an opening bat, you need courage. I remember listening to the commentary in 1959 of the Lord's Test match. And very early in his innings, he got hit in the chest by a ball from Brian Statham that got up, broke a rib. And he carried on. He carried on, batted for another 2-3 hours. Finally got out at 81. But for somebody who was just looking at playing a little bit of gully cricket, street cricket, it was inspiration. It was that if you want to be a batter, you've got to be prepared to take the pain. And if you've got to be a batter for your country, you should be able to put your life on the line. I mean, that was it. So when he got hit also on the head, after that also he made a comeback. He made a comeback to first-class cricket, got hundreds. But clearly at that stage, there were no helmets. And so therefore, I think the selection committee possibly thought that it was probably not worth a risk taking, considering the seriousness of the injury. I remember when I started my career, one of the best pieces of advice that he gave me was, Sunil, write down in a diary, every time you do well, that day you write down a diary of what you did from the time you woke up. Literally, I mean, he like what you did from brushing your teeth. Hari bhai, best one chair. From the time you brushed your teeth to what you ate for breakfast, how you went out to the ground, where did you sit, how you picked up the bat, how you felt, everything. He says, because when you go through a bad patch like everybody will do, read that page. Read that page where you have batted well, because that will give you the confidence that you can bat and you can score runs. So it was not about, every day, but the day that you did well. and never forgot that advice. And I wrote about it. Little advice, simple things like this, not necessarily about technique, not necessarily about anything, but something simple like, to keep you mentally strong. That was amazing. And he was an epitome of being mentally and physically strong. Naribhai, it is an absolute honor and a privilege for us to honor you with this lifetime achievement award. Thank you, sir.
The man, the legend, right here. Thank you so much, Sunny, sir, for those words that and the story that will hold, I think, a place in a lot of people's hearts. Hari, sir, many congratulations.
Can you hold this?
Do you want to? It's an honor, sir. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. We are indeed honored by your presence, sir. Thank you so much for being here this evening. And if there ever was a story of courage and living proof, well, you have it right there. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I think that was a moving moment for all of us. So let's just get ourselves back together and move on to the next award now. Ladies and gentlemen, our next award tonight is the Sportswoman of the Year Olympic Sport Award. Our next honor celebrates athletes who've excelled in the demanding world of Olympic sport, competitors whose strength, precision, and relentless discipline has pushed the boundaries of human performance above and beyond. To present the award, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to request Dr. P.T. Usha, ma'am, President of the Indian Olympic Association, to kindly come up on stage. Ma'am, can we request your presence on stage? I'm also going to request Pradeep Dwivedi ji, CEO of Eros International, to come up on stage and present the award. Ma'am, thank you so much for your presence. It's an honor indeed. Good evening, sir. Thank you very much. Right, ladies and gentlemen, very quickly, let us take a look at the nominees for this award on your screen. Antim Fangal, Isha Singh, Jasmine Lamboria as well, Suruchi Singh and Mirabai Chanu on that list, ladies and gentlemen. And this year, ladies and gentlemen, the jury has chosen not one but two exceptional champions in this category. The first award for Sportswoman of the Year Olympic Sport goes to Saikom Mirabai Chanu. Can we have her on stage, please? Weightlifting icon whose extraordinary strength and determination have earned her global recognition, ladies and gentlemen, including that Olympic silver medal. The journey continues to inspire so many across the country. Saikom Mirabai Chanu, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to request you to hold on to that. Chanu, आपसे बात करना तो बनता है, please. सबसे पहले सवाल तो मेरा आपसे ये है कि वेट लिफ्टिंग की हम बात करते हैं, हम लोग 10, 20, 30 किलो उठाते हुए सोचते हैं वी वॉच आवर बैक, बट हियर शी इज स्नैच लिफ्टिंग almost double your body weight, the clean and jerk almost 2.5, 3 times your body weight. Is that more difficult? वो ज़्यादा मुश्किल आपको लगता है, या फिर आपको पता है कि there are millions of supporters, Indian fans जो घर पे बैठ के आपको देख रहे हैं टेलीविजन के ऊपर, और उन सब की उम्मीदें आपके कंधों पर हैं, और उसका भार उठाना, क्या वो ज़्यादा मुश्किल लगता है या ये वेट उठाना ज़्यादा मुश्किल लगता है?
सबके लिए ज़्यादा मुश्किल होते हैं। वेट तो मैं इजीली उठा सकती हूँ। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थैंक यू सो मच स्पोर्ट्स स्टार दिस अवार्ड के लिए। बहुत खुश हूँ कि मैं इधर आके आप सबके साथ खड़े हो पाई हूँ। बहुत अच्छा लगा सबसे मिलके, और हर टाइम यही सोचते रहती हूँ कि जो मैंने वेट लिफ्टिंग चुन के यहाँ तक आई है तो मैं इंडिया के लिए, और जो इंडिया वेट लिफ्टिंग के लिए मैं कुछ करके दिखाने के लिए हर टाइम सोचते रहती हूँ। तो बस सबकी जो सभी ने मुझे प्यार दिया है, सभी ने मेरे लिए जो प्रे किया था, तो उसी के लिए सबसे पहला दिन ही टोक्यो ओलंपिक में सबसे पहले ही मैं मेडल जीत पाई हूँ। तो मैं थैंक यू सो मच आप सबको। ऐसे ही जो इंडिया की हर प्लेयर्स के ऊपर आप सब प्रे कीजिए और प्यार दीजिए। बस हम हैं आपकी कि जो सपना है हम करने के लिए तैयार है। हम इतना भी हैवी हो, खुशी से मैं उठा लूँगी।
एक और सवाल जाते जाते, हम लोग सोचते हैं कि हम क्या खाएं, और यहाँ पे आप सुबह जाते हो, एक ओलंपिक सिल्वर मेडल जीत के आ जाते हो, और फिर गेम्स विलेज के अंदर पिक्चर पोस्ट करते हो एक पिज्ज़ा की स्लाइस के साथ। अब मुझे बताइए हम क्या समझे उस बात से? वो चीट डे था आपका, क्या सेलिब्रेशन थी कि अब सिल्वर आ गया है?
सच में सेलिब्रेट था वो, क्योंकि मैं पिज़्ज़ा बहुत पसंद करती हूँ, बहुत ही ज़्यादा, पर सर मुझे खाने ही नहीं देते। अच्छी बात है, प्लेयर्स के लिए एक चीट डे रखना भी बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है मन को खुश करने के लिए। और खाना भी अच्छा नहीं है हमारे लिए, क्योंकि हम लॉन्ग टाइम जाने के लिए, हमारी हेल्थ के लिए हमको क्या क्या चीज़ खाना चाहिए, हम कौन सा चीज़ में हमारी बॉडी को अच्छा रखेंगी या लॉन्ग टाइम हम हेल्दी रखेगी, वो सब कुछ देख के खाना बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है एक प्लेयर्स के लिए। एक सिर्फ प्लेयर्स की नहीं बोलना चाहूँगी, सब के लिए भी मैं बोलना चाहूँगी कि हेल्थ बहुत ही ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है हर सभी के लिए। तो प्लीज़ जो खाना चाहो तो भी रुक के थोड़ा सा देख के खाना चाहिए। ऐसे 1 महीने में एक बार गया, मैं भी कभी कभी चीटिंग करती हूँ कि मैं न्यूट्रिशन मैम से बोल के मैं खाती हूँ कि मैं आज तो मेरा मन कर रहा है खाने का, तो मुझे अलाउड करो प्लीज़ तो करती हूँ, और मैं बाहर जाके चाट खा के आती हूँ बस एक्चुअली पिज़्ज़ा तो मैं नहीं खा सकती, पिज़्ज़ा तो मैं सिर्फ मेडल लेने की बाद ही मैं बहुत सारी खाती हूँ पर पिज़्ज़ा बहुत पसंद है मुझे।
Thank you so much for all that you've done for this country in terms of your sporting achievements. Wishing you all the best
Thank you so
for your
much,
future
sir.
as well.
Thank you, thank you.
Trophy आपके नाम, mic मेरे नाम. Thank you very much, and so nice to have you here, Mirabai Chanu. Dr. P.T. Usha ma'am, I'm going to request you to stay back. Sir, thank you so much for your presence. We have the president of the IOA. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a special moment for us, so I'm going to request ma'am to please say a few words. An Olympian as the president of the IOA, a female athlete as president of the IOA. There are so many firsts that one has to talk about when one talks about Dr. P.T. Usha ma'am. The stage is yours, ma'am. I'm going to just help you with the...
My fellow sportspersons and all the distinguished dignitaries present here today. I'm happy to be part of the Sportstar Aces Award and to be among so many individuals who have dedicated their lives to the spirit of sport. When I look back at my journey, it feels both humbling and surreal. I began my journey as a young girl from a small village in Kerala, carrying nothing but a dream in my heart and a simple pair of running shoes on my feet. The path was not always easy. There were limited facilities, very few opportunities for women in sport, and many doubts from society. But sports has unique power. It teaches discipline, resilience, and the courage to keep moving forward even when the odds are against you. My Olympic journey, particularly at Los Angeles in 1984, remains one of the defining moments of my career. Missing an Olympic medal by 1/100th of a second was heartbreaking, but it also strengthened my resolve. Over the years, I was fortunate to win several medals at the Asian Games and Asian Championships, moments that I cherish deeply because they were not just personal achievements but milestones for Indian sports. What gives me even greater pride today is seeing how far Indian sport has come, especially for women. When I began competing, there were very few female athletes on the international stage. Today, our women are breaking barriers and inspiring millions. Today, as the president of the Indian Olympic Association, my role has evolved from being a competitor on the track to supporting and strengthening the entire sporting ecosystem. It is a responsibility I carry with great pride and commitment. The achievements of our athletes in recent years have been extraordinary. Our women's and men's cricket team winning the Cricket World Cups, the Olympic and Paralympic podium finishes to historic performance in World Championships. Indian sports has truly entered a new era. Athletes across disciplines, athletics, badminton, wrestling, boxing, shooting, and many more are showing the world what India is capable of. Events like the Sportstar Aces Award are important because they celebrate not just medals, but dedication, perseverance, and the countless hours of hard work that athletes put in behind the scenes. To all the young athletes watching tonight, remember that every champion begins with a dream and the courage to chase it. Thank you to Sportstar and especially Ms. Nirmala Lakshmanji, Chairperson Hindu Group, for breaking barriers, and congratulations to all the winners and nominees tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'd request you to stay back on stage, Dr. P.T. Usha, ma'am, because we can't let you leave like this. We would like to present you with a small memento as a token of our appreciation for your presence here this evening. I'm going to request Suresh sir, Chief Revenue Officer, the Hindu group, to kindly come up on stage. He's always got a spring in his step. I request you, sir, to please acknowledge the presence of Dr. P.T. Usha ma'am here this evening, main guest for the awards night tonight. Acknowledging your presence, ma'am. Thank you so much for being here and helping present the awards. Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, Suresh sir, for doing the honors. Right, ladies and gentlemen, on to our next award. This is the Sportswoman of the Year, Olympic Sport, the second award that I promised we will be presenting in this category. And to present this award, I'm going to request chess grandmaster Abhijit Kunte to kindly come up and join us on stage, please. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a round of applause for Abhijit Kunte, and also requesting the presence of Mr. Prashant Shantakumar, partner Sports and IT at KPMG. Requesting your presence, Prashant sir, on stage. Welcome, Prashant sir. Good to see you again. Right, ladies and gentlemen, for this category, we have a set of nominees. Let's take a look at the nominees. There's Antim Fungal, Isha Singh, Jasmine Lamboria on that list, as is Suruchi Singh and Mirabai Chanu. Ladies and gentlemen, the second award for Sportswoman of the Year, Olympic Sport, and this goes to Suruchi Singh. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have Suruchi step up on the stage once again? This is her second award of the evening, just reminding you that this young girl, the young shooter, is making waves, isn't she? Congratulations, Suruchi. Many congratulations and a big thank you to our presenters. Suruchi, is there a favorite food of yours that you like to eat? Is there a favorite fruit or a food that you prefer? Because Mirabai Chanu was just mentioning chaat. And we just offered her chaat right now because she's just won an award here. She just said that's a cheat food. So she's got chaat. So is there a favorite food choice that you have? We'll try and arrange that for you.
My choice will not be arranged because I am from Haryana and like churma.
All right, fair enough. We'll try and have it arranged for you sometime later for sure. But many congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Suruchi there. Her second award of the night, someone who's dominated proceedings. And to my friends from the Hindu group, is that chart reserved only for Mirabai or are we going to get some as well? Very congratulations. Right, ladies and gentlemen, on to our next award. And this is going to be the award for the National Team of the Year. Representing the nation on the global stage, of course, it's one of the greatest honors of sport. And the National Team of the Year celebrates a team whose performances, unity, and of course, determination goes on and inspires millions, gets them to take to the sport, and of course, brings pride to the country. To present this award, I'm going to request former India women's cricket team captains Shubhangi Kulkarni and Nilima Joglekarji to please come up on stage. May I request Shubhangi Kulkarni ji and Nilima Joglekarji to please come up on stage. May I also request the presence of Praveen Chandra Kumar, SVP at the Taj Group of Hotels, to join us for this presentation. Thank you so much for doing the honors again, ma'am. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, very quickly, let's take a look at the nominees for this award. The National Team of the Year. Senior Women's Football Team, the Senior Men's Cricket Team, the Senior Men's Hockey Team, as well among the nominees. The Senior Women's Cricket Team, and of course the Women's Blind Cricket Team as well in that list of nominees. And the Sportstar Aces National Team of the Year award goes to the Indian Women's Cricket Team, ladies and gentlemen. Champions in 2025. Of course, I'm going to request some of the members of the side who are present here with us this evening. Sneh Rana is here with us, as is Deepthi Sharma. I'm going to request their presence on stage, please. Yes, there they are. And I'm also going to request the bowling coach Avishkar Salvi to join us on stage as well. Avishkar, can we have you on stage? Many congratulations. Have a huge round of applause. Sneh Rana, Deepthi Sharma, both here with us. Avishkar is joining us on stage one more time. What a proud moment it was, being crowned champions. Can we get all of you in the center, please? Yes, please. Right in the center. I love that caption though. I love that caption. Don't miss that. Her story makes history. Yes, it did make history. I'm going to request everyone to stay back on stage for this one, just for a moment. Now, कैसे पकड़ें? बताइए, मैं थोड़ी मदद करूं तो I can hold on to something. Who run the world? And you see the names, you see the faces, you know who the champions were. चलिए अब शुरुआत, चलिए दीप्ति आपसे करते हैं. ये जो वर्ल्ड कप ट्रायम्फ थी, जो जीत थी, ऐसा लगा कि जिसको मौका मिल रहा था वो बड़ा दिन, जब जिसको मौका मिला उसने आके परफॉर्मेंसेस दी उस टीम के लिए. थोड़ा सा इसके पीछे की कहानी बताइए. देखिए, हमें तो परफॉर्मेंसेस दिखी उस दिन की, लेकिन उस ड्रेसिंग रूम में क्या चल रहा था उसकी कहानी बताइए.
फर्स्टली गुड इवनिंग एवरीवन. और मतलब इस बार हमने ना बहुत इन्जॉय करा, और जो भी इनिशियल जो 3 मैच रहे थे हमारे, उसके बाद हम लोग ऑब्वियसली नर्वस नहीं हुए, और बस यही था कि एक दूसरे को सपोर्ट करना है. अच्छा माहौल था, हारने के बाद भी सब लोग एक दूसरे को बैक कर रहे थे. ऐसा ही नहीं था कि जीतने के बाद जो माहौल रहता है, तो वो एक अच्छी टीम की खासियत होती है, और वो हमने इस बार करके दिखाया, क्योंकि हमें कॉन्फिडेंस था एज अ टीम, क्योंकि सब लोग अच्छा कर रहे थे. और बस यही था कि जितना नज़दीक जाएंगे टूर्नामेंट के, और इंडिया अपने फैंस के सामने खेल रहे थे, उससे बड़ी कोई बात नहीं हो सकती. और उनका इतना सपोर्ट मिला जो शायद ही हमें कहीं मिलेगा. बहुत मज़ा आया खेल के इंडिया में.
बिल्कुल. स्नेह, आपसे थोड़ी सी बात इस बारे में भी करेंगे कि when you look at the recent times, the recent past, there have been moments where the team came close. मौके बने उस आखिरी पड़ाव तक पहुंचने के, आखिरी पड़ाव तक पहुंच के फिर लड़खड़ाई भी, अगर T20 फॉर्मेट की बात करें कुछ साल पहले. इस बार अलग क्या था? इस बार अलग क्या था कि वो चैंपियनशिप जीती, वो वर्ल्ड कप आया हाथ में?
First of all, good evening to everyone present here, and thank you for honoring us with this prestigious award. Means a lot to us. And thank you to everyone present here from the cricket fraternity who have built that, they are the pioneers actually, and we have been walking the path they have laid. So thank you so much for showing us that path. And coming to your question, sir, I think the belief that we had from starting of the tournament, not from the starting, I think we have planned this everything 6 months before. So we have been practicing hard, and sir is here. We have been making strategies all over to how to beat the best team in this world. So we have practiced that way, and we had that so much belief in ourselves and in everyone, and we are thankful to actually everyone, to all the fans who have believed in us as well. And yes, हम लोग 3 मैच जरूर हारे थे back to back, as Dipti mentioned, but we came together as a unit, and we believed in ourselves, and put that hand on the shoulders, and एक ही aim था, एक trophy बनाई थी हम लोगों ने, and we have this thing in our mind that we will lift that cup. And eventually it happened. I think manifestation, कह लो इस चीज़ को. So that worked really well in our favor.
ट्रॉफी बनाई थी. अब ये भी एक स्टोरी है, इसके ऊपर मैं 1 सेकंड के बाद जाऊंगा. Avishkar, I'm going to come to you very quickly. Amol's not here. We congratulate him in absentia, but जो coaching staff hai, the preparation, she just said we made plans to beat the best team in the world. Forget about beating the best team in the world. You proved that you are the best team in the world by winning the cup. So just talk us through the back-end preparations. What happened behind the scenes? Lots of players given chances, the team, the squad prepared before the tournament, before the competition.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, thank you very much for this award. And coming to your question, I think planning and preparation was very important, and we thank the BCCI for giving us the entire infrastructure and whatever we asked for. So for the past 2 years, we were working on the plans, and in different tournaments and different series that we got an opportunity to, we were trying to implement those plans, and full credit to the players, because you just push them, you have to just push them, and they were onto it. I mean, that hunger was there, that desire was there to perform well at the highest level. And you see how they performed at the World Cups. The journey wasn't smooth sailing. We started off well, then we went down, and then these girls really made a comeback. And kudos to the team environment, the way they kept the ecosystem inside. The atmosphere was fantastic throughout.
Drawing that trophy, ये किसका आइडिया था? अब ये भी बता दीजिए जाते जाते कि वो ट्रॉफी बनाई, मैनिफेस्ट किया कि जीतेंगे, तो किसका आइडिया था वो?
वो मेरा ही आइडिया था.
ये लीजिए, तो कहानी यहाँ पे भी बनी. Now I'm going to talk to the path breakers. You've just been presented this trophy. Let's talk to the former captains who've built this ecosystem over the years. दो चीजें आपसे जानना चाहूँगा. For women's cricket, there has been a transition we've seen over time, and the fact that popularity, money, and broadcast has also come in recent times. Whom would you like to give credit to for that aspect as well? That people are reaching, being able to see what's happening in women's cricket around the country and around the world.
Yeah, I think it all started sometime around 2017 when the Indian team reached the finals for the second time of the World Cup. Definitely, there were a lot of people watching women's cricket at that time. The England team and the Indian team, they were playing at Lord's, and I think things changed at that time. I would give a lot of credit to BCCI for giving all the facilities and whatever else is required for the girls to perform the way they did. I think BCCI didn't leave any stone unturned to give them whatever they required. And like I was just talking to Julian a few days back, and we were talking about the team winning the World Cup. And the one thing she said was, ma'am, if we had got these facilities, 10 years or 15 years back, today we would have won another 3 or 4 World Cups. So I would definitely thank the BCCI for all the facilities that they've been giving to the teams.
No denying that.
I think I'll butt in. I think the most credit goes to Jay Shah and his vision and what he has done for women's cricket. It's amazing what they literally they gave everything and more for what was asked of them. And one thing about our coach, he made it a different team with that Bombay Khadus attitude of theirs in cricket, which they bring. And team first was the motto. I think they followed throughout. I am sure the girls will agree, because that made the team look so much better and they perform so much better.
Oh, look like a cohesive unit without a doubt, and we got them the winning mentality, Amol Majumdar. Ladies and gentlemen, just a personal note on Amol. He's not here, but I have to let you know this, that he is one of the most amazing singers. If you ever get the opportunity to hear him sing, he's absolutely unbelievable. I'm going to ask the girls whether he ever sang in the dressing room. Avishkar, did he ever sing in the dressing room?
Yes, he has. During our events, he has.
So you'll vouch for
Brilliant
what I'm
voice,
saying, right?
yeah.
Brilliant
Yeah.
voice for Amol Majumdar. Ladies and gentlemen.
His friends are also there in the crowd. They will also vouch for it.
I'm sure. That's another little peek into Amol Majumdar's multifaceted abilities. But ma'am, before we leave, one last question to you. I've asked this many times to stalwarts of Indian men's cricket, that, if IPL had been there in their time, who would they feel would have made a big impact? But if I were to say with WPL on now, in your era of playing, or players that you saw before you, who do you think, if they had been playing the WPL today, they would make a big impact? If there are any names that you'd like to share.
Absolutely. The person who's standing next to me, she was considered a very good runner between the wickets. So with no absolute no restriction of players or some people standing outside the boundary, outside the 30-yard circle. There was no restriction as such. And they made life, this girl made life miserable for the players there. So imagine with the restrictions what she would have done.
I think there's a mutual admiration society that's going on here. Diana ma'am saying, I'm going to get a word in as well.
No, but Shanta Rangaswamy, Purnima Rao, they would have made a lot of difference if in those times, if we had, and Diana here because I was a wicket keeper and she would continuously keep bowling without giving runs. She was again a Khadus, Mumbai, and that too a Parsi.
Well,
I'd just like to add here that I think the WPL has definitely made a lot of difference. BCCI starting WPL for the women has definitely taken it to another level. And that has encouraged the states also to have premier leagues, which is what is helping even at the grassroots level.
Oh, absolutely. Lots of states doing the needful as well, with women's leagues running in concurrence with men's leagues as well. Absolutely right, ma'am. Credit to the board and the state associations. And congratulations to our winners as well.
I would like to thank everyone on behalf of Indian women's cricket team. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Sneh. That was a nice gesture. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, to our awardees. And of course, a big thank you to our presenters as well for that interaction. Ladies and gentlemen, on to our next award. This is the Sportswoman of the Year Team Sports Award. And of course, this is where individual brilliance meets collective ambition. This award recognizes the sportswoman whose performances have not only elevated her own game, but also, of course, played a defining role in her team's success. Ladies and gentlemen, to present this award, I'm going to request T20 World Cup winner Irfan Pathan to kindly come up on stage, please, to present this. And of course, I'm going to request Kishore Selva Babu, Director, Student Council, Christ University, to join him on stage. Irfan bhai, warm welcome. Right, ladies and gentlemen, very quickly, let's take a look at the nominees for the Sportswoman of the Year Team Sport. Deepti Sharma, Navneet Kaur, there's Chanu Elengbam and Smriti Mandana on that nominees list. And ladies and gentlemen, the Sportstar Aces Sportswoman of the Year Team Sports, the winner is Deepti Sharma. Can we have you come up on stage, please? With bat, with ball, with a presence in the team. Center stage, please. Can we have our presenters come center stage to present this award? Deepti, can we have you right in the center of the stage? Irfan bhai, can we have you come right center stage, please? Thank you so much, sir. Many congratulations. दीप्ति, आपको ऐसे जाने तो दे नहीं सकते हम। आपको तो जाने नहीं देंगे, आपकी ट्रॉफी थोड़ी देर के लिए मैं पकड़ लेता हूँ।
नहीं चलेगा।
Irfan bhai, since you are here, one all-rounder to another, I think I'm the odd man out, so I'm going to stand there and I'm going to request you to take the microphone and have a nice little chat with Deepti, please.
Very good evening, everyone. Deepti, बहुत-बहुत मुबारक हो आपको।
Thank you, भैया।
एक सवाल मुझे आपसे वैसे पर्सनली भी पूछना था, लेकिन अभी सबके सामने ही पूछ लेता हूँ कि ऑलराउंडर का काम थोड़ा मुश्किल है। आपके पास बड़ी यूनिक स्किल है, लेफ्टी बैटिंग करना और राइट आर्म ऑफ स्पिन डालना, ये बहुत रेयर है। सो बिग अप टू यू। इट्स नॉट एन ईजी स्किल। ये जो स्किल है, ये आपके लिए नेचुरली था कि लेफ्टी बैटिंग करना और ऑफ स्पिन डालना, या आपने डेवलप किया वक्त के साथ?
नहीं, आई थिंक ये नेचुरल था, क्योंकि जब मैंने खेलना स्टार्ट किया तो पहली बार मैंने बैटिंग लेफ़्ट हैंडेड ही स्टार्ट किया और अच्छा लगता है क्योंकि लेफ्टी बहुत कम होते हैं बैटर जितना भी मैंने देखा है क्रिकेट में और अच्छा लगता है एज एन ऑलराउंडर हमेशा रहता है कि मैं जितना ज़्यादा टीम के लिए कंट्रीब्यूट करूं तो अपना तीनों स्किल में मैं बेसिकली फोकस करती हूँ।
एक और सवाल, अभी क्योंकि आप बॉलिंग करती थी फिर आपकी बैटिंग बहुत ज़्यादा डेवलप हुई और आपको एक फ्लोटर की तरह इस्तेमाल किया जाता है, मैं भी वो चीज़ महसूस कर चुका हूँ। ओपन करना, नंबर 3 करना, नंबर 8 करना, वो मुश्किल काम है। तो एक तो कितना मुश्किल है आपके लिए एडजस्ट करना, जाहिर सी बात है कोचेज़ यहाँ पे है, तो क्या ये कोई पोजीशन पे आप बैटिंग करना चाहेंगी कि ये आपकी परफेक्ट पोजीशन है और कितना एडजस्टमेंट आपको करना पड़ता है?
आई थिंक आपसे अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस तो कोई नहीं जान सकता, लेकिन मैंने लाइक हर नंबर पे बैटिंग करी है, लाइक स्टार्टिंग से लेके लोअर मिडिल ऑर्डर तक, बट अपने आप को मेंटली आप किस तरीके से रेडी करते हो वो ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट होता है। तो जब भी नेट्स में मैं बैटिंग करती हूँ एक सिचुएशन रखती हूँ अपने सामने कि मे बी इस नंबर पे बैटिंग आ सकती है कल, मे बी हो सकता है कि कभी कभी नया बॉल फेस करना पड़ जाता है समटाइम्स जल्दी विकेट गिरने से, या फिर कभी कभी 5-6 ओवर रह जाते हैं, तो उसके हिसाब से मैं डेवलप करती हूँ अपने आप को कि लाइक मुझे कैसे इनिंग को बिल्ड करना है। तो मेंटली स्ट्रॉन्ग रेडी रहती हूँ और स्ट्रॉन्ग रहती हूँ कि जितना ज़्यादा टीम को हेल्प कर सकूँ।
ग्रेट माइंडसेट, आई विश यू ऑल द लक। ऊपर वाला करे कि ये तो अभी वर्ल्ड कप की शुरुआत है, वुमेन्स क्रिकेट आगे जाके ना बहुत सारी ट्रॉफीज जीते और आप उसका पार्ट बने।
थैंक यू सो मच।
One last thing, I'm here at the stage. Avishkar Salvi, the bowling coach of women's Indian cricket team. I would like to actually personally congratulate him, in front of everyone because he's the guy used to be called as upcoming Glenn McGrath, Indian Glenn McGrath. Glenn McGrath is here. And he played for India. I played with him. Unfortunately, because of the injuries, he could not pursue his longer career, which he had all the potential to. But when I see him lifting the World Cup trophy, made me really proud. So well done, Avya. Very well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhaiya. Thank you.
Two left-handers walking off stage right now. आपस में यही कह रहे होंगे, कोई भी प्रॉब्लम आती है तो इसे सॉल्व करना तो मेरे बाएं हाथ का खेल है. But that's the way it is. Ladies and gentlemen, lovely little interaction there. Now moving on to our next set of awards. Ladies and gentlemen, the next award is the Sportswoman of the Year, non-Olympic sports. Across non-Olympic disciplines, Indian athletes continue to redefine excellence on the global stage, pushing boundaries, breaking records, and of course proving that sporting greatness knows no limits. This award recognizes a sportswoman whose performances have not only dominated her sport, but also elevated India's presence in the international competition. To present this award, I'm going to request the presence of Mr. Arun Dhumar, Chairman IPL, to kindly join us on stage for the presentation. And of course, Mr. Nitin Karkare, Chairman Ulka and ED Omnicom Advertising. Arun sir, warm welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, may I request our other presenter to kindly join us on stage, please. Mr. Nitin Karkare, Chairman, Ulka and ED Omnicom Advertising, if he's here. No, he's not there. So we'll have Ayan Sengupta to join us on stage. Ayan, thank you so much for doing the honors. Right, ladies and gentlemen, very quickly, let's take a look at the nominees for the Sportswoman of the Year, non-Olympic sport. There's Meenakshi Huda, Jyoti Sureka Venom, Divya Deshmukh in that list. And ladies and gentlemen, the Sportstar Aces Sportswoman of the Year, non-Olympic sport. The winner is Jyoti Sureka Venom. Can we have her on stage, please? Sterling performances by Jyoti Sureka Venom, and she is our Sportswoman of the Year, non-Olympic sport. Many congratulations to you. When you talk about compound archery and her achievements, in the last year or so, well, credit where it's due. Many congratulations, Jyoti, and a big thank you to our presenters for presenting the award. Now, ladies and gentlemen, of course, we do have another award to come. We still have some juice left in this evening, but since there have been so many corollaries and stories about cricket, I'm just going to try and add one more for the moment. They say the match isn't over till the last man's dismissed. You get the number 11 out and the story ends, but hang on. We have a star in the making. We have a star and a superstar. A star in the making, of course, is the man who's going to be doing the needful in terms of conducting that interaction. The superstar is already there in the house, and we know who that person is. But before we get into that conversation, before we head into that final award and that interaction, I'm going to request the star of the night. That's going to be Mr. Suresh Balakrishna, Chief Revenue Officer of the Hindu Group. Sir, to kindly come up on stage and drive this awards function further and also acknowledge and thank all our partners and everyone who's ensured that this evening has borne fruit. As I said, sir, the star, the stage is yours, sir.
Thank you. We have one final award to give away for the night. But before that, because what normally happens in a vote of thanks is if I give it at the end of the function, most people are at the bar and nobody's in the hall. And I think I owe it to the sponsors to thank them. So quickly, give me 2 minutes to thank the sponsors, and then we'll get on to the last segment. So good evening, everybody, and house full. Like all the last 7 years we have had it, the same venue, it's still house full. Thank you so much for staying back. And as we come to the close of yet another memorable edition of the Sportstar Aces Awards, it's my privilege to thank everybody. Tonight has been a celebration of excellence, perseverance, and the relentless spirit that defines Indian sport. We have witnessed stories of discipline, resilience, and ambition. Athletes who have pushed boundaries and inspired millions across the country. On behalf of the Hindu Group and Sportstar, I extend our heartfelt congratulations to all the winners and who have made this evening truly special. Our sincere gratitude goes to our presenting partner, Amul, Jain Bhai. Thank you once again, whose long-standing commitment to nurturing sporting talent continues to energize Indian sport. And Jain Bhai's enthusiasm at every awards function is fantastic. We also thank you, our co-presenting partner, Casa Grande, lovely AV. I love the AV, whose belief in the power of sport and storytelling helps us bring this platform to life year after year. Very, very special thank you to a past winner, which is SRM, Institute of Science and Technology. At SRM, sport is not seen merely as a competition, but as a vital part of holistic education. Under their visionary leadership of founder Chancellor T.R. Paruvender, SRM has built a vibrant sporting ecosystem that nurtures athletes through world-class infrastructure, professional coaching, and strong athlete support systems. They won this award for Best Institute 2 years ago, and I believe that is what encouraged them. From international standard stadiums and specialized training facilities to a state-of-the-art aquatic complex, SRM has invested deeply in enabling athletes to train at the highest level. These efforts have borne results, and they have 17 chess grandmasters and several international medal winners across disciplines such as swimming, sailing, archery, and badminton. It is institutions like SRM that help build strong foundations for India's sporting future. Thank you, SRM, for supporting us. Our other partners, ladies and gentlemen, SBI, Christ University, as usual, for supporting us, Jaguar Bath and Light, ISCL, Bharat Petroleum, LIC, Government of Telangana, NTPC, and Next IAS. Education partner Reva University, cooling partner Blue Star, telecast partner and my friends, Times Now. I would also like to acknowledge the Sportstar, whose passion for sport and commitment to excellence ensures that the Aces Awards continue to remain one of India's most credible platforms for recognizing sporting achievement. To the athletes, coaches, federations, and families present here tonight, thank you for inspiring the nation and reminding us what dedication and belief can achieve. And finally, to all of you who joined us here in Mumbai and those watching from across the country, Thank you for celebrating Indian sport with us. To the jury and to Sri Sunil Gavaskarji, who leads the jury every year with so much commitment. They all get together in a room and they have some very interesting discussions. Can't reveal them, but they have some very interesting discussions. I have been privy to one or two of them, and it's really fascinating the kind of trouble they take to arrive at this decision. Here's to making more champions as we go along. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And now for our final session, and to announce and give away the final category. We introduced this category 3 years ago. This category is the International Icon category. I don't know if you all remember, sometime a couple of years back, it was, can I get this? It was Muthaiya Muralidharan here, the man with the magic fingers who actually won that award. And this year also it's going to be somebody very, very interesting. Most of you all have guessed because the man's name has been taken about 187 times this evening. So you probably know who it is. But to give away this fantastic award, I'd like to call upon stage our jury chair, Sri Sunil Gavaskarji and Jayan Mehta from Amul. Please come on stage. And ladies and gentlemen, no surprises, but I think all of us have been waiting to see him and hear from him. The International Icon of the Year for Sportstar in the year 2026 is none other than the pigeon himself, Glenn McGrath. May I request Mr. Gavaskar and Mr. Jayan Mehta to do the needful. If this man knows a few things about the corridor of uncertainty for most batsmen, and I think he's troubled almost every batsman in the world. And I'd like to have a chat with Glenn. Everybody knows about 563 test wickets or the 381 ODI wickets, or the fact that Atherton was his bunny, or the fact that he got Sachin out 13 times in his life. So all those are known facts. One fact I found out when I was doing research about Glenn McGrath was he holds a very unique record of getting most batsmen out on ducks. He's got batsmen out on ducks 104 times in his career. You know? So if you're facing, the first ball you're facing is from Glenn McGrath, God help you, is what that record told me. But all these are stats we know about him. We are a cricket crazy nation. We've watched him torment us. And also, once or twice, we also had our own back. But we'd like to start with, there's one side of Glenn McGrath that some of us know about, which is his work with the McGrath Foundation on awareness of cancer and the kind of work that he has done. Glenn, we all know, lost his first wife to cancer, and he's been working tirelessly towards both awareness and building funds for cancer, especially in Australia. So, Glenn, tell us a little bit about that journey of yours and what's the exact effort, and how was your own cricket team, the way they supported you in that effort? Because I remember Adam Gilchrist with pink gloves in the pink test when it was first launched.
Well, thanks, Suresh. And firstly, let me say a huge thank you for the invitation along here tonight, and add my welcome to everyone here, and also congratulate all the winners tonight. So a huge thank you to Sportstar for, firstly, I guess, thinking that I'm worthy of the International Icon Award. But yeah, no, I do. I've always said I view myself a very lucky person. I've got to play cricket for Australia. I loved it, had a passion for it. I've got some amazing people in my life. Sure, there's been some really tough times, but it comes back to the people in our lives. So to be able to give back through the McGrath Foundation is something I'm incredibly proud of. I think a lot of people know the story. My late wife passed away from breast cancer. And from that journey, we decided to share our story in the hope that we may help one person, one family going through it. That then grew into the McGrath Foundation we launched in 2005. From that journey of my late wife, realised that having a cancer nurse made an incredible difference through that journey, and there was not enough of these amazing people out there. So we launched McGrath Foundation in 2005 to raise funds to place, at that time, breast care nurses in communities right across the country. Unfortunately, my late wife Jane lost her battle 3 years later. We only had 4 nurses employed. As I stand here now, we have over 340 nurses, and they've supported hundreds of thousands of families going through one of the toughest times in their life. And so in that respect, it's been 21 years, but the year after the first Sydney Test match after my late wife passed away, Cricket Australia came to me and said, we'd like to rename day 3 of that match, which used to be Ladies' Day, to Jane McGrath Day. They thought it might have been 1 or 2 years to celebrate her life and the foundation, but it's grown into something incredibly special. 18 years that's been going on. The way the Australian team got behind it, the way every touring team, I think India now has been part of that at least 4 times, and the support from everyone's been amazing. And to me, it tells me the beauty of sport, and especially cricket, that it brings people together from all walks of life. So what we've been doing there is making a big difference. It's something I'm incredibly proud of. But like I said, to be able to give back is something that I'm quite humble, but very proud, as I said. And yeah, the journey goes on. And you know, sometimes you think you're having a pretty tough day, and I think back to those times, and you know, you just lift and move forward.
Thank you, Glenn. You've been doing a wonderful job, and we all wish you the best in your journey forward with the McGrath Foundation.
Thank you.
The other part of his life, which is his present part of his life, post tormenting all those batsmen, and he finally hung up his boots, he's now attached to the MRF Pace Foundation, and he is, in fact, the bowling coach there. And we were, chatting today afternoon, and he says at any time there are about 20 to 30 young Indian boys who are, learning how to bowl, how to do pace bowling. So, what has been your experience there, and do you see some really sharp talent coming up from the Indian grassroots?
Yeah, so another thing I'm proud of is to be able to give back through MRF Pace Foundation. It is something that's been part of my life. I first came over to India in 1992. Dennis Lilly was the then director of coaching, and he was my hero growing up. So to be able to train under Dennis back in 1992 there was something I treasure. You look at some of the greats of Indian cricket, Javagul Srinath, Venkatesh Prasad, Zahir Khan, Afar Pathan, have all been through MRF Pace Foundation, but back then it was the only academy for cricket anywhere in India. Now, as we see, there's a lot of academies. Every state has one. There's the National Cricket Academy, that IPL teams. So, we've got some young guys coming through. We feel we can, add a lot more to probably under 19s, under 23s. So we've got about 30 young boys, or young, I guess, men coming through, and hopefully teaching them. There's a couple of guys at the moment in Pranav Raghavendra, Deepesh, a couple of Tamil Nadu boys actually. They're in the Indian under 19 setup. They bowl, I know Pranav bowls about 145, 100 plus kilometres an hour, and he's only, he was 17, 18 now. So there's a lot of potential there, and it's just helping nurture that. But to be able to give back, and for a sport that I'm very passionate about, is something I'm incredibly proud of as well. Central Nathan is here with me tonight, who's our head coach and does amazing stuff as well. And he was played a lot of cricket for India and sort of state cricket too. So yeah, I come over here 3 times a year, 2 weeks at a time. I do think of India and especially Chennai as my second home. I remember when I first came over, I couldn't handle spice at all. Salt and pepper. Pepper was too spicy for me. But over the years, I've got to love Indian food, and I go out with my friends in Chennai now, and they, after eating the meal, they go, oh, there was a bit of spice in that. That was a little bit hot. And I go, yeah, I think it was okay. So it's amazing what I can get used to as well. So I love coming over here.
Let's get to cricket. I'm sure you must have read that 2 weeks ago, Steve Bucknor apologized. In a way, right? We all read about it. We read everything about cricket. And Steve Bucknor said, you know, maybe I got it wrong. The ball was hitting the shoulder and probably about going 6 feet above the stumps. So we at Sportstar are going to appeal to reduce your wicket tally by 1 on your record. So what did you feel about that incident?
I think you're referring to when I bowled to Sachin Tendulkar, Adelaide Test match, 1999. Sachin had just come to the crease. I think he faced 4 balls, and I thought it was time to give him a bouncer. I ran in, bowled it short. Sachin saw that it was short, and he ducked under it. The problem for Sachin was the ball didn't bounce, and it shot low, and it hit him in the shoulder. From where I was looking, I saw Sachin squatch down. I could see the bails over the top of his head. So I thought that ball's clearly hitting the stumps. And it's, you know, I think it was Daryl Harper, it was Australian umpire Daryl Harper who actually gave it out. And, you know, Sachin and I have been discussing that dismissal for a long time. He thinks it was clearly going over the stumps by a good 1.5 feet. I still think the ball was tapering off and going to hit the stumps. And 18 months ago, I got the opportunity to do a TV commercial with Sachin here in India. And the whole part of the TV commercial is Sachin thinks I need to get my eyes checked.
Yeah, no.
Because obviously that was clearly not out. And it was having a bit of fun. And yeah, no, I still think that was out. Sachin still thinks it was clearly not out. And I think we'll continue to have that discussion.
Well, I can tell you, all the people in this room definitely know it was not out, and about 1.4 billion people know that it was not out. Just putting it on record.
Yeah, unfortunately, Sachin got a duck that day, and I think India lost by by about 300 runs. So I'm not sure it would have made much difference, but that's okay.
Talking about India losing, good that you brought it up. Today happens to be the 25th anniversary of a certain test match in Eden Gardens, which I remember. It was played on the 11th to 15th of March 25 years ago, where a certain VVS Lakshman, I think his name was, scored 271 and made an Australian team bowl the whole day along with Rahul Dravid. And it's 25 years today, by the way. It's exactly 25 years today that incident happened. So it's a silver jubilee. So I wanted to ask you, if you were to rewind the clock, would Steve Waugh have inserted us again on that follow-on?
I'm trying to remember that match. I don't really remember.
Yeah,
it
sure.
But, yeah, so Stephen was a very aggressive captain, and if you asked him again if he would change his decision and we'd bat on, he would still say he would declare. He would, follow on, enforce a follow on. And I remember that day very clearly, and day 3, things were going well. We'd won the first test here in Mumbai by 10 wickets. The Australian team had won 16 test matches in a row, and we were fairly confident. And that night, we got Sachin out just before the end of play. I think India were 4 down. We're still 20 runs or more shy of where the Australian team needed to bat again. And we thought the next morning, we come out, if we get an early wicket, we might be able to wrap it up, maybe just after lunch. Unfortunately for us, that wicket didn't come till well over 24 hours later. And to think the way VVS Lakshman and Rahul Dravid batted that day was incredible. To bat all day, let me tell you, I've been involved in bowling with the Australian team where we didn't take a wicket all day. Let me tell you, it's very overrated. I do not recommend it. We batted once all day where we didn't lose a wicket, and I enjoyed that one a lot more. But it goes to show the quality of players back then. You know, I was very fortunate to play against guys like Sachin, Rahul Dravid, Saurav Ganguly, VVS Lakshman, just to name a few. And what VVS did that day was probably one of the best innings I've ever seen. You know, very well supported by Rahul Dravid. But I remember Shane Warne was bowling. Warney was bowling into the rough, wearing wicket, and the ball was turning square. But VVS was in such amazing form that he'd look where the ball was pitched, he would just turn slightly and basically straight drive it up over mid-wicket, which was unbelievable. So yeah, just the ability and what VVS and Rahul achieved that day was incredible. And you know, to think it took an innings like that from those two to beat the Australian team, we can live with that, because you know, you go out there, you want to play against the best players in the world, and for them, if they beat you, they have to do something incredibly special. And that was an amazing innings, and I think that was 25 years ago today. It's amazing how quickly time goes, but so many special memories is what I love about the game. And when you get all the old cricketers together, it's amazing how the memories get better, the results and what you achieve get better and better every year. But that there was something very special. Unfortunately, we went on to lose that test match. Harbhajan Singh took 13 wickets in the match, from going from a position of strength to lose by 171 runs, which is what India got in the first innings. Brought us back down to earth, and then unfortunately they beat us in Chennai so it took us another tour to finally win in India, which was the last frontier for that Australian team. But yeah, a lot of special memories there.
Yeah, absolutely. What an amazing test match, turning point for us too as a test team.
Now, you didn't want to mention, there was another memory that I sort of comes back to my mind, and every time I come over to India, people come up to me and they tell me they still haven't forgiven me for getting Sachin out in the 2003 World Cup final.
What World Cup final? We don't remember anything. We don't remember the 2003 World Cup final at all.
But okay, we'll give that one a miss, shall we? Yeah.
Gavaskar sir, he got Sachin out 13 times in his career, and he doesn't let us forget it. Even today afternoon when I was telling him, do mention it on stage. If you were playing when Glenn McGrath was bowling, right? Most of us feel he wouldn't have been able to get you out even once. What's your sense?
You're absolutely right. I certainly wouldn't have ducked under a bouncer. I would have waited for it, maybe, leave it, sway away from it. But no, I think with the new ball, 100%. I think he was a kind of bowler who was probing you around the off stump every single time, every single delivery. Relentless. He was relentless. And the occasional short ball, which was, the surprise, in case you were looking to get forward. You can't get 563 wickets unless you are something special. And I think he was special. He was one of the greatest. I mean, not just... and earlier on, you introduced him as having got 104 batters out first ball for a duck. Maybe you should have also asked him how many times he got out first ball for a duck.
No, he will then go back to his one half century that he scored against New Zealand.
Yes.
He keeps saying that in every interview of his. Glenn, you want to talk about your half century?
I don't think we've got that much time tonight, but just to go on to what Sonny was saying there, I was lucky enough to get, as you mentioned, 104 batsmen out for a duck. I thought the best time to bowl to a batsman was when he first came in, so I thought bowl a good ball to him early. Unfortunately, I do hold another record. I hold the record of most test ducks by an Australian batsman, which apparently is about 34, I think. Shane Warne was on the same amount as myself going into our last test match, and he nicked one early and was given not out, which I was a little bit disappointed because then we would have been even. My only thing I'll say is, it's number 11 is the toughest place to bat. You go out, you get a good one early, it can happen. The days when you're feeling really good, the guy on the other end gets out on you and you have to walk off anyway. So, and the other thing is, back when we played, there was no DRS. So, I just, when you see the umpire give you out before they appeal, you know you're in trouble. So I reckon with the DRS, that many times I got hit on the thigh, high on the pad, given out LBW, because the umpires think, okay, you've got enough runs, let's keep this game going. So that's my excuse, but just listening, batting left-handed, batting right-handed. Steve Waugh thought I was a natural left-hander trying to bat right-handed, so maybe I should have had a go at batting left-handed as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, the pigeon, the man who really made life difficult for most batsmen, unfortunately for some of our batsmen too, but the legend, our international icon, Glenn McGrath.
Thank you.
What a moment and what a fantastic interaction. Part of what they called a fast bowling cartel for Australia. The four of them, the quartet. Nice little photo opportunity now. Glenn, we request you to stay on stage because at this point of time I'm going to request all the other awardees of the night to please come up on stage for a group photo opportunity. I'm going to request all our award winners of the night at this point of time to please come up on stage for a photo opportunity. Thank you so much to our presenters. Thank you so much. Glenn, thank you so much for that wonderful freewheeling chat that you've had with Suresh sir. I'm going to request all our award winners of the night to kindly come up on stage for a photo opportunities with their trophies, please, with their awards. I request you to please join us on stage. I'm also going to request the 10 former Indian women's cricket team captains to join us as well for that photo opportunity. And there are some evenings that you wish never end. But unfortunately, this one's close to drawing to an end. But I'd request all our award winners to please come up on stage for that one big photo opportunity. I know there'll be a whole lot of conversations that will flow, but I'd request everyone who's been an award winner tonight to please come up on stage, join us with their trophies, please, for that photo opportunity that we've been waiting for. Hari sir. Can I hold this? Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a quick reminder. We have this photo opportunity with the award winners of tonight with their trophies, please. Oh, there's going to be a packed stage for sure. I hope we've got all our award winners for the night on stage for this photo opportunity. This first picture is only with the award winners, please. Thank you so much, and the captains, the 10 former Indian women's cricket team captains as well on stage. I hope we've got all the award winners of the night on stage. In case anyone's missing, I'd request their presence on stage, please. And may I request our chairman of the jury, Sunny Gavaskar sir, to please join us as well. Sunny sir, requesting your presence on stage. Sunny sir. Please. Thank you so much, sir. I hope we've got our jury members on stage as well, and request our jury members to join us, please. And sir's joining in as well. Super. I think we've got them all. One second. There's one more. Vishy sir's joining in as well, finally. Thank you, Vishy sir. For the front page picture. What a moment, what a night. Ladies and gentlemen, one last round of applause for everyone on stage. This has been a night to remember, and a big thank you to all. On behalf of Sportstar, I'd like to thank everyone involved with this event, and of course, a big round of applause and congratulations to all our awardees of the Sportstar Aces Award 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Raman Bhanot, and it's been a pleasure being a part of this evening. And a big thank you to all for being such a wonderful audience.